Hello, Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk with Chris Godinez. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. If you feel you need a therapist, please go to Google, type in therapy, your city, Psychology Today will pop up, and you can look at all the therapists there. Also, the views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom shakalaka, done. Okay, so just to get a few things out of the way, I went to Disneyland this last week. That's why I've been kind of radio silence, visiting my great niece and my niece and celebrating my birthday there. So that was a lot of fun. This is why I have the Disney nails. So a couple of things you need to know about Disneyland. They've changed their policies. So the park was packed. It's like the entire time we were there, the park was just absolutely packed. Every single line was 45 minutes to 2 hours long. It was crazy. Hey guys. And if you have a little one with you, you're going to get through maybe 5 rides. So they've made it basically that you can't do an entire park in one day anymore. You have to buy the multiple passes in order to cover both parks. And I think that's wrong. The other thing that they've done too is that they have put the antibacterial soap in all of the restrooms. So the hands will be absolutely raw by the end of the second or third day. Cannot tell you the number of women. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday. Thank you. Number of women that came up to us going, God, do you guys have any lotion? Because we had these big bags with us, and no, we didn't have lotion. And now I understand why, because hands raw. So antibacterial soap, really not good for you guys. Really not good for you. If you're going to Disneyland, bring lotion with you, because the little one's hands are going to be raw because you're going to the bathroom all the time and you're washing your hands all the time. So anyway, it was fun. It was, and I'm glad I did it, but I'm really kind of upset of the way that they've changed things so that there's no way you can get through a park or even 2 parks in 2 days. It's crazy. So anyway, that's that. Okay. Also, if you guys want to send me questions, you're more than welcome to on either, We Need to Talk here, or you can do it on YouTube, or you can do it, you can message me on YouTube privately. You can also leave a message or leave a question in the comments below. You can also get me on Chris Godinez LPC public speaker page. That's kind of where I try to be a little bit more personal and post some of the things that I am passionate about, such as politics and Disney and things like that. I'll be putting some pictures up later. Or you can message me on AHA Counseling. That's my professional page for my private practice. If you do send me a question, please, guys, keep it short. Keep it short. Keep it short, because I see so many people. It's like I literally see between 38 and 42 people a week. And I really don't have time to read like novels. So just cut to the chase, ask your question. I will try to get back to you. And if I can't, then I'm going to do a show like this where I am answering all of the questions. So originally I was going to do the show today on the movie Gaslight is on now. Oh my God. What a coinkydink. So originally I was going to do my show on self-esteem and self-doubt, but I'm going to include that in the questions because that was one of the questions that somebody had sent in. Okay. All right. So let's get this rocking and rolling. Let's talk about self-esteem. Let's talk about self-doubt. Also, somebody was asking, why do you repeat yourself? Why do you repeat yourself? Why do you repeat yourself? Because it takes the brain between 1 and 6 times of hearing new information to have it kind of soak in. Now, if you are dealing with an addiction issue, which all of us who are survivors of abuse are, it will take anywhere between 1 and 100 times of repeating information for it to start soaking in. Repetition is the key. Repetition is the key to healing, to hearing the same message over and over and over again. Just like the abusers would do their negative, nasty shit, the healers are the ones that are going to be doing the positive reinforcement all the time, repeating. Listen to this. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's why. Because it takes between 1 and 6 times with a normally functioning brain to hear new information. With an addiction going on, it takes 1 and 100. Everybody's different. So yeah, I am going to be repeating myself. And if you don't like me repeating myself, then go find another channel. So there it is. All right. So, okay. Hi, guys. Nice to see you all. Okay. So yeah, brainwashing. So we're... I'm using my powers for good, not evil. So abusers use brainwashing for evil. They repeat things over and over again, making a lie the truth. So in healing an addiction of any kind, whether it's alcohol or drugs or, a person, you have to repeat the good stuff over and over and over again. in order for everybody to get it. So this is just the way addiction works. All right, so the first question, what happens to older narcissists? Do normal parents enjoy seeing their kids in pain or in trouble? No. Normal parents do not. Narcissists do. So abusers enjoy the drama. Abusers, toxic parents enjoy the drama, and they will oftentimes reward the kids who are the problem and ignore the kids who are doing well. So in other words, you'll have a series of kids. You'll have like 3 or 4 kids in a family. One will be the problem child. One will be the one that is just the fuck up, never does anything right, never makes the right choice. And yet the parents are enabling them like crazy. And the kids who are doing the right thing, going to college, getting a job, taking care of themselves, being responsible, paying their bills, the parents never, ever help them out. And their excuse is, oh, but little Joey needs it more than you do. Okay, weird. So what they're doing is they're rewarding the bad behavior. It's a way to keep little Joey enabled, and it's a way to keep little Joey continuing to be a fuck up, and it's a way to reward bad behavior. So yes, toxic parents do not get better with age. Oftentimes what they'll do is once everybody moves out of the house, the only time they'll want to hear from you is if things are going wrong. So you'll know that you're in an unhealthy domestic relationship with your parents if the only time they ever want to hear anything is when things are going wrong, or you're in trouble, or things aren't good, or, because a normal healthy parent is, excited for when you are doing well and rewards you when you're doing well and tells you how proud they are of you when you're doing well. They encourage health. They encourage normality. They encourage, healthy ways of living and being. So it's the dysfunctional toxic parents are the ones that enjoy it when you're suffering, enjoy it when you're not doing well, want to hear all the bad news, never want to hear the good news, get off the phone. In fact, if you start telling them things are going okay, oh yeah, gotta go, sorry. They're more interested in hearing all of the bad stuff. So there is that. Hello, Brooklyn. Okay, so what happens to narcissists as they get older is they get worse. They do not get better. And it's the same thing with malignant borderlines. So malignant borderlines, malignant narcissists do not get better on their own with age. Everybody loves to be like, oh, but they'll mellow. No. If they are truly malignant, they will not mellow. They will, in fact, get worse, and they will become toxic like nobody's business, and they will want to talk about, oh good Lord, my hair is just flipping out today, what the hell. They will want to talk about all of their ailments. They will want to talk about their bodily functions. They're going to want to talk about their surgeries. They're going to want to talk about, oh, their doctor's visit, and oh, this toothache, and oh, this joint, and oh my God, and oh my this, and oh that, and it doesn't get better with them, and they can't understand why people don't want to hear about their bowel functions. They really can't. Because they're so wrapped up in themselves. And remember, as narcissists age, they are terrified of aging. They are terrified of getting older. They are terrified of death. They are. Show me a narcissist and I'll show you somebody who's going to be fighting it tooth and freaking nail. And it's crazy because it's like, look, we don't get out of this place alive. We don't. So your job is to live the life to the fullest, slide into home plate, used up, and go on to your afterlife and have a great time. That's really what we're here for. So, and being kind to each other. But with a narcissist, they're like, no, I'm not going to age. I'm not going to get older. Oh my God, this wrinkle. Oh my God, this, I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And they're the ones who go for the massive plastic surgeries. They're the ones who, dye their hair constantly when they're 80 years old. Now, granted, I do dye my hair, absolutely, but I also dye my hair different colors like purple and things like that because I enjoy it. I'm not trying to fool anybody about my age, people. I just said I had a birthday. I'm 53, and I'm proud of it. Earned every year. There you go. But narcissists are terrified of it. Every birthday to them is a disaster because it's one step closer to the grave. Live your life to the fullest while you got it. That's what I do. That's what normal, healthy people do, is you enjoy the time you have here, because tomorrow is not granted. It isn't. Look what happened at the school in Florida. Those kids had their whole lives ahead of them, and some freaking asshole decided to cut them short. So live your life to the fullest. That is really what a healthy person does, is you enjoy every day, and you don't sit there and go, oh, the future, the future, the future. Well, the future is not guaranteed. Live today. Stay in the now. That is really your job. Stay in the now. Okay. So they don't get better with age. They are terrified of death. They are terrified of aging. They will do plastic surgeries like nobody's business. They'll get the tummy tucks. They'll get the breast augmentations. If they're a guy, they'll get the facelifts to the point where they're shaving the back of their neck because they pulled their skin so tight that, it's their beards are now in back of them. I actually had an employer that did that. So yeah, it's really kind of crazy. And they'll become religious fanatics on top of that because that all goes together. So if somebody is terrified of aging, they're suddenly going to find God because now they're wanting to get on God's good side because they're recognizing, hey, time's running out, and that's oftentimes when you'll find the converts that will suddenly become, holy rollers or, born again Christians, or born again whatever, or born again whatever religion it is that's going to give them comfort because they're terrified of aging. Hang on just a second. I picked up my niece's cold while I was in Disneyland. So, okay. So they will become religious fanatics. They don't get better with age. They don't mellow. They will use whatever religion is going to suit their personal agenda. They will do plastic surgeries like nobody's business. They will lie about their age. They will fight that aging process. It's crazy, go nuts. And they get very obsessive about bodily functions, and that's all they're going to want to talk about is their bowel movements and their latest surgery and their latest visit to the doctor, and they cannot see outside of themselves. So a healthy, normal, older adult always asks, what are the grandkids doing? What are the great nieces doing? How are you doing? What's new and exciting? What have you kids been up to? Come over, have dinner. Let's have fun. Let's watch a Disney movie. That's what healthy, normal parents do. But a lot of these narcissists are not. And speaking of Disneyland, while I was there, it was frightening to me to see the number of parents that are disordered. For example, right in front of me, the announcer just says, please do not, put your hands in the water. And the little kid knew that they weren't supposed to put their hands in the water, and boom, hand went in the water. What do you think the mom did? No, stop, don't. She didn't reinforce the rules, nothing. And then finally, one of the cast members had to start yelling at the kid, and then she got mad at the cast member. I'm like, what is wrong with this picture? Seriously, what is wrong with this picture? The other thing that I saw too while I was at Disneyland, everybody was buried in their phones. And the parents were like so busy taking selfies of themselves, not even the kids, not even them and the kids on the rides. They were just so busy, oh, look where I am. Look at who I am. Look at where, nonstop. And I'm like, you're with your kid at Disneyland. This should be a time when you are connecting with them. Now, what I saw the good parents doing is that they would play games with their kids. So like on the phone, there's like one of those games where you hold up the phone and the other person can see the words, and then they try to describe what the word is to you, and then you try to guess it. So I saw parents doing that. That was fine. That was okay. But a lot of parents were just buried in their phone. And I'm just like, they're young once, guys. They're young this lifetime. They're young once. Spend time with them. Ask them, what's your favorite ride? Where do you want to go eat? Did you like the churro? Do you want some ice cream? Talk to them. They're little kids. They like to talk. They like to interact. They don't like just standing there and, burying their face in a phone is not going to teach them how to do small talk, how to do the social interactions. And that's what I noticed, is that there was so very little social interaction between the parent and the kids. So I'm not saying cell phones are, Satan's evil here, but I think that people use them, especially if they have a disorder, as a way to not interact. Because think about it. Narcissists love to text. That's their favorite mode of communication. Why? Because it's separate. It's not intimate. You're not listening to somebody's voice. You're not interacting with them on a personal level. So narcissists love to text. They hate that personal kind of thing. Now it's not everybody. Some people really do text better. I'm a verbal person. I need to hear people's voices. I pick up on those verbal cues. So narcissists do that as a way to stay separate. And honestly, burying your face in a phone and ignoring your little kid and not enforcing the rules, it's like, this is why we have a problem with all these kids who've got this sense of entitlement like nobody's business. So, and it's not up to the cast members to discipline the kids. And that I can see why people get really frustrated working there. Okay, hold on. Lots of comments. Holy cow. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, guys. Appreciate it. Okay. Describing my parents exactly. It was very confusing. Yes, they are. Narcissists don't get better with age. I hope that answered the question. Thank you. I like your hair today. My hair is doing the Watusi without me. Thank you. Very confusing. My sister got the attention, but mom would tell her she knew she didn't have to worry about me. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They give the attention to the child that is the problem child, which is really not the right way to do. My dark triad ex used to say he was going to live to be 100 and was taking me with him. Oh, that's a little scary. Okay. Thank you, Lola. I appreciate it. They love bomb. They love bomb like crazy. Yeah, when they're trying to hook you. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, when a parent is so disordered that they are damaging you, go no contact, guys. Here's the thing. We get hit with this guilt trip about, oh, they're your parent. Well, okay, they're your parent. They beat you. They broke your nose. They drug you across the floor by your hair. They gaslighted you. They told you that you were worthless. They said, don't you dare be you. Why would you want to be around somebody like that? So if that is your parent, if I just described your parent, they only want to hear the negative stuff. They're praising a kid that's fucking up. If that is your parent, you are under no obligation. You are under no obligation to be in contact with them. Doesn't matter how old they are. Does not matter. Abuse is abuse is abuse is abuse, no matter how old they are. And they generally don't have that epiphany moment until they're dying of, oh crap, I've really screwed up. And even then it's fake because they don't want to go to hell. That's what they're afraid of. So if you were not related to them, would you have anything to do with them? If the answer to that is no, then act accordingly. You are under no obligation to care for, put up with, or be in contact with a dysfunctional family member. Doesn't matter whether they're your parent, your grandparent, your sibling, whatever, that is damaging to you, that is harmful to you, that is saying nasty, horrible, awful things and hurting you all the time. Nope, you don't have to do it. Get rid of the fear, get rid of the obligation, get rid of the guilt, get out of the fog. All right. My narcissistic mother has kept my son from talking to me for years. I took my power back yesterday when my grandson was born yesterday and went to the hospital, and my son and I had a great conversation. We'll be talking from now on. The thing I didn't like was my mother sent me a picture of her with the grandson, like in my face. Little does she know I was there too. I took my power back and I've now blocked her. So done with her causing pain to me. Good. Good job. Okay. All right. So that is what happens to an older narcissist. They don't get better. They get worse. They absolutely get worse. They get more obsessive and they get more socially unacceptable, I think is the best way to say it. They'll just start blathering about bowel movements in the middle of dinner. They will. Or they will bring up their surgery. You know, again, the conversation has to be turned back around to them. So let's say that it's a grandchild celebrating their birthday or a grandchild celebrating something. They will turn that conversation back to them and their bodily functions. Guarantee it. This is what they do. This is just what they do. And if that's the case, get rid of them. You don't need them. You don't. Okay. I think they are already living in hell. Yeah, they are. And just want us to suffer as they are. No, thank you. Yeah, it's true. They're miserable, guys. So remember, when I talk about narcissists, these are the ones that ruin birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, anything special, because it's not focused on them. And yes, they are in hell. And yes, their thinking is disordered. And yes, it's miserable. And no, you cannot change it. You cannot fix them because you did not break them. So stay away from them. That's the best answer to that. About the phones, I heard that narcissists triangulate you with objects, also including electronics. Narcole would put me on Narcole. I like that. Would put on his headphones and use the laptop while I was trying to talk about feelings. Yeah, absolutely. They do that. That's a way to shut somebody out. And they use the phone. They bury their head in the phone. It's another way to not be in the present moment and not deal with whatever issue is coming up, especially if it's something that they did, that they need to apologize for, or that they need to act on. And they won't because they're narcissists or they're narcoles. I like that. My memory of Disney when my daughter was younger was the two of us doing repetitive It's a Small World over and over, just the two of us while the narcissist ex stood in the queue checking his phone. Yeah, sad days in the happiest place on earth. Yeah, absolutely. That's what they do. Hang on just a second. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next question. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them here, because I'm catching up on all of the questions that were asked over this last week that I didn't have a chance to get to. So, okay. Yeah, they starve you out emotionally. Absolutely. They bury their heads in the phone or in a laptop, and not now, I'm watching a TV show. Well, I'm sorry. In the long run, people are more important than TV shows. And this is what narcissists do, though. They objectify people, and objects become more important than an actual person. So people are always more important. So if somebody's putting their electronics ahead of you, Houston, we have a problem. Now, flip side of that, a narcissist will also then claim, because remember, they love to play the victim, they will also then flip that around. And if you're on your phone or you're on your computer doing business work, they will start whining that you're not paying attention to them. So be aware of that. They do that as well. Okay. Mine told me he never shows his emotions, didn't think they had emotions. No, they don't. They have emotions as long as it's suiting them and it's serving their purpose and their needs, wants are getting met. That's pretty much it. Okay. All right. Toxic in-laws, controlling, manipulating, demanding, sabotaging, how to help the spouse. Okay. So when I deal with young couples that are dealing with toxic in-laws, usually what's happening is they come to me because one set of parents, or both sometimes if you're dealing with two sets of toxic parents, has demanded that they spend all of their holidays with those parents. You know, like, you need to spend Christmas with us. You need to spend Thanksgiving with us. You need to spend New Year's with us. You need to spend your anniversary with us. So toxic parents have a very, 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 very hard time letting go, prying their little fingers off of the relationship, because they're control freaks. So when you have a family member, a mom or a dad, and both can be toxic, trust me on this one, a toxic in-law that's trying to monopolize all of your time, it is time to set some ground rules. And this is hard because the spouse has been raised with this and may or may not be aware of what's going on. So this is why, if this is happening in a relationship and, you know, one set of parents is monopolizing and demanding that you spend all your time with them, and you go over to their house for Sunday dinner and you go here for Sunday and you ignore your own family, then Houston, we got a problem. And you're probably going to want to get into some sort of couples therapy with somebody who's good, who understands this dynamic, and who can help you set boundaries. You're going to have to say no, and they're not going to like it. They are not going to like it. Absolutely not, because they're used to getting their way. So the second you start setting boundaries and saying, no, we're going to go do our own thing for Thanksgiving, or we're going to do our own thing for New Year's, or we're going to go celebrate our anniversary in the Bahamas or wherever you want to go, that's when the problems will start. That's when they'll start punishing. That's when they'll start trying to get you to come back into line. And when that happens, again, you set boundaries and you boot them out of your life if that's what's needed. How to help the spouse? Well, that's where you get them to, you know, take a look at this behavior. This is not normal, you know, and it's hard because remember, this is their mom, this is their dad, and they've been trained with the fear, false evidence appearing real, the guilt, and the obligation, the fog. They've been in the fog for a long time. So it's really important to get them to a good therapist to help them work through their family dynamic with these yahoos, so that they understand it's like, look, your mom, your dad is going to push an ultimatum. It's going to be either our relationship or your relationship with them. And if that's what they're doing, then Houston, you got a problem, because the whole point of having kids is to raise those little birds up and then push them out of the nest and go, good luck, call me when you get a job. You know, call me when you want to take the grandkids to Disneyland. You know, seriously, it's like our job as parents is to raise that child up to be independent, to be successful, to be healthy, to be happy, to be whole, to want to come back and visit and not be forced to come back and visit. And then when they start their own life with their own family, you know, you invite them over, but you make it optional. You don't make it a demand thing. It's like, hey, we'd love to see you, but hey, we know you got your own life. That's what a healthy family does. An unhealthy family demands, ultimatums. If that's the case, Houston, you got a problem. Get with a good therapist, get with a good couples therapist that understands fucked up dysfunctional relationships within families and how to help your spouse start detaching from that. So, and when the problem will be is that the spouse will be terrified, and the spouse will be, fearful, and because basically the family is saying, do what I want or I won't love you. That's not healthy. That's not normal. Healthy, normal parents do not do those kind of bullshit ultimatums. They don't. They love their kids no matter what. Sometimes they have to love them from a distance, but they still love them. So there that is. Okay. All right. Okay. Questions. All right. Daughter has toxic in-laws and her husband doesn't see the toxicity and doesn't draw boundaries. And that's the problem. That's where couples are going to get into a problem, is when one part of the couple sees the toxicity and knows that there needs to be boundaries drawn and starts drawing them, but the child of the toxic parents can't see it, doesn't want to draw the strong boundaries. It's because there's fear involved. They're afraid of being abandoned. So yeah, that's why you need to get a third party, a good therapist in there to start working on that. My mom talked on the phone for hours every day. I ate a bunch of baby aspirin once while she was on the phone. Turns out it was my fault, LOL. I just needed too much attention when I was 2 years old. Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that they will devote their attention outside of the kids. It's like they don't want to pay attention to the kids. They don't want to, interact with the kids, because that, God forbid, means you're going to have emotions, and you're going to have to be real, and you're going to have to really, want to know what that kid is up to. So yeah, Cheryl, I'm glad you survived. That's a little scary. I used to loathe saying no. Now I really like the word no. Yeah, no is our friends, guys. No is a good word to use. And healthy family members may not like it at first, but they'll get used to it. They will. It's like, because, they do want you to spend time with them. But the problem of it is, with a toxic family, with a narcissist family, with a, malignant borderline family, it's not about you coming and spending time because they want to see you. They want the drama. They want to control. They want to make sure that you are still under their influence. That's what it's really about. It's not a, hey, we love you and we miss you, come spend time with us. It's more of a, you will do this because I say so kind of thing. And if you don't, I will punish you. That's what's going on there. How do you stop the withdrawals from them? Okay, so it is like leaving a drug. It is. So remember I talked about how we're not addicted to the abuse, guys. We are addicted to that intermittent positive rewards. And yes, we are going to have withdrawals. Absolutely. This is where you do a lot of journaling. This is where you work with a really good therapist who understands addiction, who understands domestic violence, who gets it, okay? Because you are going to be weaning yourself off of that desire to think about them. So remember how I talked about in a few videos ago that we call up their image to us as a way to keep that supply going, that drug going. So you've got to learn to thought stop, and you've got to learn to say, no, I am worth more than this. I deserve to be treated with respect. I deserve to be treated well. I am not going to give up my life for somebody who treats me like crap, period. Are you going to miss them? Yes, you are. Absolutely. Why? Because you're human. Because you fell in love with that mirror that they presented to you in the beginning. They were mirroring you back to you. You fell in love with yourself. So the best way to fight the withdrawals, or at least to get through them, is start working on you. Start working on your self-esteem. Start working on the mirror work, looking yourself in the eyes. Start working on the inner child work. Work on that original wound. Fall back in love with yourself. But this time you get to be your mirror. You get to mirror you back to you, instead of the abuser mirroring you back to you, because it was an act. It wasn't real. It was you for sure, but they couldn't keep it up. Whereas someone who is loving and kind and empathic, whenever they see somebody they love, they go, oh my God, it's you. Wow, really good to see you. Oh my gosh. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's healthy. That's normal, but the love bombing is not. And they can't keep it up. It's like they take people for granted, because again, people are objects to them. People are to be used. That's what they see us as. They don't see us as a real whole human being who has wants and needs. They see us as a means to an end. So getting through the withdrawals, Yeah, you're going to have to thought stop. You're going to have to journal. You're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to do some inner child work. You're going to have to like do a lot of writing things out. Do it. And it's so funny because somebody was like, oh my gosh. Oh, and actually this is a question later on. Somebody was like, I feel like if I start writing, it'll be a novel. Yes, it will. Use it to your advantage. Publish. Publish. Do it. Help other people. Why not? What the hell? Do it. So this is my first book, What's Wrong with Your Dad? It's about my experience growing up with my very, 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 very dysfunctional father, who was also an alcoholic and borderline personality disorder with strong narcissistic expression. So this is what I did, is I turned my journal into a book. And then I wrote another one called You Can Lead a Horse to Water, but You Can't Make Him Cha-Cha, which is my experience as a therapist watching families go through this when a loved one is in the thrall of an abuser, you know. So these books are available on Amazon on print on demand. I'm also going to be doing a book signing on the Cha-Cha book at Changing Hands in Tempe on March 23rd. It's 7 p.m. I will be speaking for about 45 minutes, and I'm going to be taking questions and signing books. So please come say hi. I'd love to put a face with the names that I am seeing. That would be awesome. The other thing is that I will be doing book signings and touring in Atlanta, April 21st, 22nd. Is the Evil Plan. Go to Eventbrite, I believe is the name of it. And we are trying to get a head count for the two areas that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing one in the northern part of town. We're going to be doing one in the southern part of town. So go to Eventbrite, look up Chris Godinez, and it should pop up. If not, text me, email me. No, message me. That's what I'm trying to say. Good God almighty. Get a hold of me somehow. Sim4s, you know, it's a thing. So there's that. What was I saying? Oh, so it feels like you're never going to stop writing. It feels like you're going to write a novel. Do it. Publish. Do it. Help other people. Let them know they're not alone. This is the big thing, guys, is when we go through, I mean, look at all you guys on here. Look at how you guys are now interacting. This is phenomenal. This is what we need. We need people to understand that you're not alone. You're not the only person this has happened to. This has happened to a lot of us, and we need to shine a light on it because cockroaches run from the light. So the more people understand about abuse, the more people understand that it's out there and it's real and it's happening on a daily basis, the more people are aware of it, the less likely more people are to get involved in abusive relationships. So educate the living crap out of everyone you meet. Do it. Do it. Publish. Do it. Do blogs. Do this. Do what you need to. Do it. Publish. Be vocal. Do it, because our abusers have wanted to take our voice from us. They're like Ursula from the Little Mermaid. Remember how she steals her voice? Doesn't want her to talk? Yeah. That's what they do to us. They want to steal our voice. Don't let them. The other thing is that somebody said, and it was the same person, I feel like, okay, I'm going to write forever and I'm going to cry forever. So yes, you are going to feel. You are going to feel good. Good for you, because that means you're human, and that means you're not a freaking narcissist. So feel, write it out. Cry, drink a lot of water because you're going to get dehydrated. But here's the good news. Eventually you will stop crying. You will. It's going to feel like shit in the first half of it. Abso-freaking-lutely, because who likes to cry? Really, honestly, nobody. But you need to get it out. Crying is cathartic. Every single mammal on the face of the planet tears up when they feel pain. So we are in pain when we leave an abuser. You're absolutely right. Feel it. You got to feel it to heal it. And eventually you'll get to anger. Great. Okay, now you're at the anger. Great. Put it back to where it belongs. Okay, a little shame's coming up. Okay, turn that into righteous anger. Put it back to where it belongs. It's about putting it back on the abuser. It's about healing that original wound. Don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to journal. Don't be afraid that you're never going to stop. Great. Write as long as you need to. Get it out. Get it out of your head. Get it onto paper. Publish or burn it. Whatever you want to do. I don't care. Just work on you. That's really what I want. And educate as many people as you possibly can. Okay. Would narc who you weren't with contact you a few days before a holiday like a Valentine's Day make you think they want to see you And when the holiday hits, they don't come through. Yeah, absolutely. They're looking for narcissistic supply. So that was another question that's on here, is that, when narcissists, is it always a blow up when you leave? Well, no, not always, because remember, you've got all sorts of different abusers. Okay, so they're not all going to present the same way. So that was another question that's on here. So somebody else was like, okay, well, my first abuser was insanely jealous, but then my second abuser was just a put down artist. Well, yeah, they're all going to be different, but abuse is abuse is abuse is abuse. If it's harming you, it's abusive, period. There it is. Is it always going to be a blow up? Not if they leave you. If they're leaving you for somebody else, if it's quote unquote amicable, they're leaving you for another supply. But I can guarantee you that what's going to happen is their supply is going to run out. And at some point they're going to try to come back and say, oh, baby, you're the one, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. Please come back. I need you. It'll be different this time, So when an abusive relationship ends and they've got somebody else and it's amicable, I can guarantee you that they're going to hoover you back at some point. Or conversely, when things don't work out with this new person and you tell them no to the hoover, they're going to start the smear campaign. It's going to be nasty because that's what they do. I think the way I phrased it was, brace yourselves. The smear campaign is coming, because that's what they do. So be aware of that. Okay. So, okay. They can't set boundaries either. Yeah. They don't respect boundaries. Absolutely. I'm never visiting Houston. Too many problems. Houston, we have a problem. Okay. All right. Bullying and or manipulation is the only way they set boundaries. Yeah. But they are always selfish boundaries to avoid dealing with reality. Oh yeah. They'll insist that now's not the time to talk. I'm drawing a boundary here. Now's not the time to talk. Well, it'll never be now. Now will never be the time. They will push things off and never want to talk about them. What if they're more covert in their demands, as in they're not overly demanding visits, but play victim games to reel the spouse in and make them feel guilty? Yes, they will do that as well. Absolutely. Oh, I had to go to the doctor because I was having heart palpitations and, I haven't seen you. And yeah, they'll do that. Swear to God, they will do the medical hoover. It's called the medical hoover is what it's technically called. So when you're dealing with an elderly narc, they'll do that. They'll suddenly have a medical issue when you've got a cruise planned. That's why you don't tell them any of your plans, guys. You don't. You just do it and then tell them later. Seriously. Because if you tell them, hey, I'm going to Hawaii, or gosh, my wife and I or my husband and I are going to the Bahamas, or hey, we have a cruise plan to Alaska, guarantee you they will have a medical issue. It's called a medical hoover. They do this. So don't share your plans with your toxic parents or toxic in-laws because they will sabotage. Okay. Could you touch on the subject of being raised in a dysfunctional family? I mean, how to figure out what healthy is when you've never experienced healthy? Okay. So get with a good therapist. This is the first and foremost thing, because therapists, a good one, can help guide you to healthy choices. So when we are raised in a dysfunctional, fucked up, toxic family, if there's an easy way to do things and a hard way to do things, our family has taught us to do the hard thing. It doesn't have to be hard, darling. Doesn't have to be hard. I'm going to sound like Lauren Archibek right now. Doesn't have to be hard. So with toxic families, everything is hard. Everything is hard. Everything is drama. Everything is just slogging through molasses in the middle of February. It doesn't have to be that way. So you've got to start changing the way you're thinking. You've got to start working on cognitive behavioral therapy, which means we change the way we think and we start acknowledging that, yeah, we see that pink elephant in the corner taking a crap. We see it. Okay, I don't want to be with the pink elephant anymore. I also don't want to resist it, but I also want to start working on it. Okay, well, there's a way to do that. So you get with a good therapist and you start figuring out what is healthy. You start working on you. Self-Esteem Workbook by Schiraldi. I'm going to say this until I am dead, hopefully in a long, long time. But Self-Esteem Workbook by Schiraldi, guys. Self-Esteem Workbook by Schiraldi. You've got to work on your self-esteem. That's first and foremost to a healthy relationship. You've got to be back in a healthy relationship for you. You've got to make healthy choices for you. You've got to be eating right. You've got to love yourself enough to not smoke. You've got to love yourself enough to drink enough water. You've got to love yourself enough to exercise. You've got to love yourself enough to not pick abusers, to work on that broken picker. Hugely important. So when we get out of an abusive family or a toxic family, yeah, you're right. We don't know what healthy is. So we've got to start learning. And that means we read everything we can on what a healthy relationship is. What is a healthy relationship? Well, it's respect. And that's another question that was coming up. It's like somebody was like, well, but in every relationship, there's disrespect. No, there's not. Nope. Sorry. Line in the sand. Nope. Here's the deal. There will be miscommunication, to be sure. There will be missteps, to be sure. But disrespect? That's an abuser's game. So there is always a basic tenet of respect between you and your partner. Always. I care deeply what John thinks. I do. And I check in with him frequently because I don't take him for granted, because I recognize life is short and life is precious and not everybody is going to be around all the time. So there is a basic tenet of respect there, and he respects me as well. And if there is a misstep or a miscommunication, I don't assume it's coming from a place of, fuck you, I did it on purpose. I assume it's coming from a place of, oops, I screwed up. Let me fix that. And then it never happens again. That's the difference. In an unhealthy relationship, the disrespect happens over and over and over and over and over and over because they don't fucking respect you. They don't respect themselves, but they don't respect you. And when somebody makes a real apology, or it is brought to their attention, hey, you did this, this hurt my feelings, a healthy person will go, oh my God, I did not mean to hurt you. I am so sorry. No but in that, not but you made me, but this, but that. I am sorry. I hurt you. I acknowledge it, and it will not happen again. And then it doesn't, because that's a real apology. Anything else is a narcissistic apology. Anything else, narcissists don't apologize. Narcissists don't. When they apologize, it's a I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry, you, or I'm sorry, and then they list everything you've ever done wrong. Or they'll go through and list everything that was said in therapy, which is why you never do therapy with a narcissist, ever, because they will use it against you. Ever. And the sad thing of it is the target of abuse, while in the thralls of the abuser, if they're having therapy with friends or family, they will run back to the abuser and tell them everything because they're trying to heal that original wound. They're trying to please that parent. They're trying to make that person love them. And they think that's the way to do it. And it's not. Because then what the narcissist will do is insist that they stop therapy. So there that is. Okay, which I talk about in this book. So if you've got family, friends, whatever, that are in a relationship with an abuser and you're not understanding why they're doing the things they're doing, read this book. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him cha-cha. Because I talk about things I've seen in sessions with families, with friends, etc. And they're just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, no shit. So yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, so you read as much as you can about healthy relationships. You look for role models of healthy relationships. If anything reminds you of your family, that's not healthy. If you know they're toxic, so you stay away from anything that reminds you of that. I could never say no to him. He would pout until I gave in. Yeah, that's what they do, because you're dealing with somebody who's operating on the level of maybe on a good day, if the wind is blowing in the right direction, a 6-year-old. Seriously. And they do. They behave very childish, not childlike. There's a big difference. Childlike is that wonderful sense of wonder. Like when you go to Disneyland and you're like, oh my God, this is great. And the characters are here and this is awesome. That's childlike. Childish is the pouting and the I want what I want when I want it and I want it now. That kind of thing. Okay. All right. Oh, this stupid thing is not going backwards. Why is it not going backwards? Let's see if this will go backwards. No, it will not go backwards. There we go. All right. Okay. When I went no contact, the first night was terrible physically and emotionally. Yeah. So here's the deal, guys. When we leave an abusive relationship, we are going through withdrawals. No different than a heroin addict. Now, there are only 2 drugs out there that will kill you, at least the last time I checked. going cold turkey. One is alcohol. The other one is barbiturates, I believe. So, or not barbiturates, benzodiazepine, which is funny because they use benzodiazepine to wean you off of alcohol. Go figure. The point being is that when we leave an abusive situation, we are as addicted to the intermittent positive rewards as a heroin addict is to heroin. And yes, we will go through withdrawals. And yes, it will be painful emotionally and physically. They've shown study after study after study, depression comes out physical pain. It turns into physical pain. And when we leave, we are depressed. Abso-freaking-lutely. So we are having to work through that depression. We're having to work through that withdrawal. We're having to work through that pain. That's why I'm saying the only way to go through it is to go through it and to feel it and to heal it and to work it out. So that's what's going on. Yes, it is going to be physically painful. You betcha. Okay. How people behave when things don't go their way tells you what you need to know. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. When things don't go the narcissist's way, they will literally pitch a fit, pout, temper tantrum, et cetera, the whole thing. Healthy, normal people try to find the silver lining, or they try to find a good compromise, or they try to, make the situation fun. That's the sign of somebody who's healthy. It's like, oh, things went south. Okay, punt, do something different. Try something else. That's a healthy, normal person. Okay. Hey, Beth. Okay. Love the book. I have it. Oh, good. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. I hope you come to the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Oh boy, do I want to. Holy cow. I am a Victorian fanatic. Holy cow. I'm on my personal page, and please don't friend me on my personal page, guys. That's for my family and friends. I do like other posts on the LPC page, but on my personal page, I post a whole bunch of Victorians because I belong to all of those, old house, pre-1930s, all of those, mansions of the Gilded Age, that kind of thing. I love Victorians. That is my passion. I swear to God, past life, sometime in the 1800s, swear to God, like between 1850 and 1900, 1850 and 1920, that seems to be my thing. I like the Art Deco stuff too. But yes, I would love to come to the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Also, that was a question. Somebody was asking for legal resources in the Maryland area. I don't know of any. I'm not a lawyer. I only know a little bit, and I know very little about the laws here in Arizona. That's why I have friends that are in the legal profession. So my suggestion would be is if you are going through legal issues with an abuser, go talk to a women's shelter and see if they have any recommendations. Ask your counselor, ask a social worker, ask around, see what you can find. Heather Sinclair is a friend of mine. She is running for the state, I think the state Senate in Maryland. She's a very big advocate of people who have been sexually trafficked. That was a new word. Trafficked. She's very much a socially conscious person. I love her to death. She has gone through her own share of having to deal with legal issues in abusive relationships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you might want to check out her page. She's amazing. All right. So, or if you guys have any knowledge on legal stuff in Maryland, please put it up here so people can see it, so they know who to ask. Because I can only give you information in Arizona. So for example, there is askbertha.com, which is a social services kind of clearinghouse for Arizona. So there it is. Okay. All right. Hey, Amy, do you have any plans to come to the UK? Yes, I do. I just don't know when yet, guys, because I'm just getting this tour going. Had a bit of a setback with a PR person I was using. I am now using a different PR person, and we're going to try to get it going. I know that there's a lot of interest in the UK, and I would very much love to come because, it would be colder there in the summertime than it is here in the summertime, and that would be a good time to visit. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get out there. Also, Rich Will is in northern England, and I would love to go visit him. That would be awesome. So that would be cool. All right, let's see. Okay, so Beth, you're telling me that the Eventbrite will be up by the end of the day. Okay, so the Eventbrite site will be up by the end of the day. We're trying to figure out, in Atlanta, which will be April 21st, 22nd. I'm going to be trying to do a couple of book signings and a couple of seminars. So, and we're trying to figure out which, how many people we can get to each one. That would be awesome. Okay. All right. Always afraid of saying the wrong thing and would get the silent treatment if I did. Yes, they do that. So the silent treatment is called stonewalling. And it is a form of punishment. It is a way to hurt somebody. Now, that is different than going no contact. Going no contact is when you say, look, are you willing to go to counseling with me? Okay, you're not? Well, then this is at an end because I cannot continue this relationship, or this friendship or this family relationship or whatever if you're not going to work on yourself. So that's different. Stonewalling is where you do the cold shoulder and I'm not talking to you, and I'm never going to talk to you, and blah, 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 blah. And this can go on for days, hours, days, weeks, months. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I'll talk to you now. Like it's some sort of gift that they're giving you. Fuck that noise. All right. All right. Yes, they do make us walk on eggshells. So if you are feeling like you are walking on eggshells, go get Stop Walking on Eggshells, both the book and the workbook by Randy Krieger. Excellent book. Also, another book, The Object of My Affection is in My Reflection, Coping with a Narcissist by Raquel Lerner. Another excellent book. These are great books. All right. Let's see. I now know that I have toxic parents. I was primed and ripe for the picking when I meant the X-hole. Yeah. And we do. We learn from watching our parents. And if our parents are dysfunctional, we're going to try to heal that original wound by marrying or getting involved with somebody who is exactly like the person that we had the problems with. The problem of it is that doesn't fix it. All it does is compound it. So it's like a horse stall that's got horse shit. It's like you got to get rid of that first layer, to get down to the wood floor or to the sod, whatever. But if you don't, it's just the horse shit's just gonna keep piling on. So, oh good Lord, my country roots are showing. Okay. I got the silent treatment, whether it was a fight or not. Yeah. Okay. You did nothing all day, Leanne. Good for you for your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way. That's what stopped the book till now. I was traumatized just writing the abuse to my lawyer. Fear of pain stopped me, but I've changed. Good. You've got to write. You've got to not be afraid of the pain. Is it painful? Yeah, pain hurts. Yeah, we're not into that unless you're a masochist. But it's you got to do it. You just got to go through it. Okay. Okay. All right. Smear. Okay, getting smeared on her page now, I'm told. Okay, so this is another question that I got. When you are done with the abuse, when you are done being abused, be done. Don't go visit their page. Don't go see what they're saying about you. It ain't going to be pretty. And all it's going to do is keep you stuck in that perpetual I'm thinking about them phase. Be done. Be done. Be done being abused. You don't need to know what they're thinking and feeling. What they think and feel about you is literally none of your business. Truly, truly none of your business. What matters is what you think and feel about you. That's why you must work on you. You must work on your self-esteem. You must work on your health, on your picker. Work on not picking another one. Super important. Okay. Yeah, get rid of any of the flying monkeys. Okay. All right, hang on, guys. I'm trying to go through all these questions. Holy cow. Could you talk about being scared of leaving family of origin? I keep repackaging my things. Oh, packing, not packaging. Like, why are you packaging things? Sorry. Contacts. Okay. All right. I keep repacking my things instead of actually moving out. I'm in my early 30s, but I have little to no confidence in my ability to take care of myself. I'm very emotionally immature, poorly socialized, CPTSD, codependent, etc. I keep researching cities and going on Craigslist to look at apartments, but I keep psyching myself out because I feel like I'll come back. I've tried to leave in the past and then had to return because I ran into NPDs in the workplace. Ooh, okay. You're going to just have to do it. And get with a good therapist. So you can get free counseling at any university. Any university that has a master's program is going to have free counseling. Work on the self-esteem. Work on your independence. Work on knowing your certainty that you can take care of yourself. Is it going to be scary? You bet your sweet bippy it's going to be scary. Absolutely. But it's really important. It's really, really important. Get out of that toxic environment. Find a roommate situation. But again, your picker is going to be broken. So you want to make sure you pick a roommate that's also not an NPD, because that happens. So if you can get into a healthy roommate situation, that'd be great. Get free counseling from a university. Go to Catholic Charities. Go to Jewish Family Services. They have a sliding scale. You're going to want to work on your self-esteem. The Self-Esteem Workbook by Schiraldi. Codependent No More. Beyond Codependent No More by Melanie Beattie. The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker. Get those books. Read them. It's time to fly, baby doll. It's time to fly. Go be you. Go work on you and don't be afraid. And, you know, it's going to be okay, but you got to stop self-sabotaging, and that's what's happening. So that's why you need to get with a good therapist and just start working on self-esteem, 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 self-esteem. You can do this. You absolutely can do this. Absolutely. And you're going to run into nasty people in the workplace. You absolutely are. It's about drawing boundaries, and it's about not being a doormat. So that's another question that I actually wrote down. Somebody was like, well, help, can you say more about how to deal with workplace narcissists? Yes, absolutely. So workplace narcissists are very common. So they will smear, they will harm, they will take credit for your ideas. They will, sabotage. They'll do all sorts of things. So here's what you need to know. HR is not there for you. They are there to keep the company from being sued. So if you want to get this handled, all you got to say is hostile work environment, period. And that's going to make HR stand up and pay attention. So if you've got somebody at work that is smearing you, that is holding you up as an example of what not to wear to work, if they are making it a hostile work environment, you simply mention that, and you simply mention the EEOC. EEOC, that you will file a complaint if this does not get handled. Now, one of two things is going to happen. In the state of Arizona, it is a right to work state, which is confusing sounding because it sounds like, oh, this is great. We've got a right to work. No, what that means is that an employer can fire you for any reason at any time without notice. That's really what it means. The good news is you can also quit at any time for any reason without notice. But that's what a right to work state is. I know Idaho is a right to work state. I know Arizona is a right to work state. I suspect there are other right to work states out there. So you could possibly conceivably get fired. However, you file that complaint with the EEOC and you have enough evidence that they created and encouraged a hostile work environment, you could probably sue them. So their whole big thing is don't get sued. They don't want to get sued. So you drop hostile work environment, EEOC, filing a complaint, betcha they're going to take care of that problem for you. So, yep, you just got to fearless, guys, fearless, and look for another job. Seriously, because corporate environments trickle down. Okay, so it's like if the top environment is not healthy, you can bet that the bottom environments are not going to be healthy. So because they're going to encourage nasty, narky behavior. So, if that's the case, get out, find a different job, start looking, but definitely draw boundaries, So for example, when I was working at one of my first jobs, we got taken over by just an absolute narc-hole. I think that's a good way to put it. I love that. I'm so going to use that. That is awesome. And this person insisted that we change diagnoses, so that they could get paid more. And I'm like, first of all, that's unethical. Second of all, it's illegal. And third of all, I'm not going to risk my license so you can make more money, you freaking asshole. So yeah, I stood up and I basically said, you do this, I'm contacting the ACA and I will be getting a lawyer. And yeah, because I'm not doing it. And if I lose my job over this, the EEOC is going to be backed off, totally backed off. Didn't want me to change the diagnosis. It was great. Because I stood up. Was I terrified? You bet. Was I shaking in my shoes? You bet. Because it was also during the time period where I was getting my internship hours out of the way, and I desperately needed the internship hours. So even though they kind of sort of had the upper hand, I kind of sort of took it away from them. So that's what you've just got to be fearless, guys. You've just got to be fearless. Don't be afraid. Always have a backup plan. Always. I had started contacting other agencies because I was like, okay, they're going to be dicks. I'm going to find a different agency. Fine. Good. Whatever. So it takes me a little longer. Whatever. It didn't. I got my license. It was fabulous. So, okay. How can you heal if you're still surrounded by fundamentally toxic people? You can't. So if you're in a toxic relationship, if you're in a romantic relationship with an abuser, you're not going to get better because they're going to sabotage every single step forward you make. They're going to insist that you don't speak to your family and friends. They're going to insist that you spend all of your time with them. They're going to ask that you throw your own kids under the bus. They're not going to want you to go do you. They're not going to, if you get a job, they'll sabotage the job. They'll, well, you're spending too many hours away from me. You're working too much overtime. It takes you too long to get to the job. It takes you too long to get back from the job. They'll sabotage it. That, you're starting to go for a job that you really, really want. Well, I don't want you to do that. That's horrible. Why would you do that? That takes you away from me. That's a total narc move. Sorry. So if you're with an abuser, if you're with somebody who is actively sabotaging you, yeah, you're not ever going to get out and move forward. If you are in a toxic family, same things. Mom and dad are going to sabotage. Absolutely. I cannot tell you the number of times that my mom sabotaged me or my dad sabotaged me while I was going to college. You betcha. Because that's what they do. And so you have to just do things and not tell them. You have to get away from them and you have to do your own life. That's why I left home when I was 17. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. So you, in a work environment, yeah, you can keep moving forward in a work environment, but it's going to take cojones. It is. Like I said, I had to stand up to my big boss and say, here's an ethical violation and here's the ACA's lawyer's number, and I dare you kind of thing. And, it was kind of like a game of poker. So, he didn't call my bluff. So that was good. And because if he'd had, I would have gone to the ACA. So you bet. Okay. If a person doesn't respect me, I'm peace out. Good for you. Okay. So when we leave a toxic relationship, you are going to recognize that there are a whole bunch of flying monkeys. You are going to recognize that there's a whole bunch of people that are not good for you. And it's generally the abuser's friends is generally, or family is going to be the toxic monkeys. So people that you thought were on your side are not. And they will do anything they can to abuse and keep the abuse going. That's why you've got to, when you leave, you be done. Are you done being abused? Be done. Be done. My narc ex will not exercise, but she will not give up smoking a carton a week and won't give up binge eating candy and children's cereal and pancakes and waffles, for example. She engages in magical thinking that she'll be okay. And the exception, although she's apparently at 300 pounds now, impulsive and in denial about the risk of diabetes, heart disease, cancer, etc. Yes, and this is the danger, is because abusers will also tell the target of abuse, if the abuser is the one that's, eating all this horrible stuff and smoking and not exercising and living in denial and, oh, I can manage this with medication. Well, no, you don't want to manage it with medication. You want to manage it with exercise and diet. That's really the healthy way to do it. They will then convince their target of abuse to engage in the very same behavior because, again, sabotage. So the very thing they wanted was the target of abuse, because the target of abuse had all the things that they don't have, but then the second they get them, they literally want to kill us. Like, literally want us to die. And they will do it not directly, although in some cases it will be directly, but they'll do it by insisting that we drink alcohol if we are diabetic, or pushing candy at us, or pushing unhealthy foods, or demanding that we smoke with them, or demanding that we don't exercise because that takes away time from us, that kind of thing. So when you leave an abusive relationship, get back in relationship with yourself, get back in relationship with your body, get back in relationship with being healthy, with exercising, with not smoking, with managing pre-diabetes or diabetes with exercise and diet. Absolutely. Get back into being healthy. That's what healthy people do. All right. Great question about what does healthy look like? Yeah, you've got to start finding relatively healthy. Now, there is no such thing as normal, okay? There is no such thing as this, penultimate healthy, but you find healthier and you start looking at healthier. You start finding examples of healthier. That's what you start doing. And you start deciding, what do you want? What do you not want? This is the thing. When we get out of an abusive relationship, we don't know who we are anymore. We've been so brainwashed and we have been so put down and so harmed by our abuser that we no longer know what we want anymore. So this is why this whole first year is you just getting back into a relationship with you. Absolutely. He blows up, yells, and puts down me and my family, then acts like it's me and tries to be nonchalant, like it was not too bad or my fault. Tries to be useful around the ranch for makeup, saying how much he helps, says it's me sabotaging the relationship. He is homeless, so plays on the guilt. No, he is twisting things. He annihilates any good things with his bad behavior, never says sorry, and does it repeatedly, so see it now. Hard to believe someone can be so nice and turn so mean. Yeah, that's what they do. They're nice when it suits their purposes. And the rest of the time, their true selves come out. And it is not pretty. They are mean. They are damning. They're putting down, why do you wear your hair that way? Why do you dress that way? Why do you talk that way? Why do you say this? Why do you say that? Not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. Yeah, absolutely. And the only way to stop it is to get out of it. And especially if they're homeless, don't allow them to play on the guilt, the fear, obligation, and guilt. If they're homeless, that's their problem. They're an adult. There are shelters out there. Get them the fuck out. You don't need that. Nobody does. Okay. All right. I believe the narcissists also go through the trauma bonds withdrawal as well. No, they don't. So here's the thing. You are ascribing human emotions to someone who has none. They don't go through trauma bonding. They don't go through the PTSD, CPTSD, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For them, it is all about power and control. That's really what it is. It's not that they're missing you. It's not that they want you back. It's not that, I'm afraid of being abandoned or any bullshit story that they're telling you. Because let me tell you something. Let me clue you in. People who love other people don't treat people like shit. You don't. You don't put them down. You don't play games. You don't hurt them. You don't call them names. You don't lie to them. You don't steal from them. You don't make them feel or encourage them to feel fear, obligation, and guilt. That is what an abuser does. So the abuser is missing the power game. They are missing the control game. You are ascribing to them emotions that they do not have. Don't kid yourself. And this is where abuse targets fall into a pit, because they always go, but they must be feeling the same way that I am feeling. No, they are not. Do you talk to people like that? Do you treat people like shit? Do you put people down and then expect them to love you? No, you don't. So stop giving them the feelings that you have. That's the biggest trap that we fall into. They do not feel the same way that the target of abuse does. They don't. So don't kid yourself. They don't. They don't go through withdrawals. They are not fearful of abandonment. They are not terrified of, being alone, whatever. What they are terrified of is not having somebody to distract them and not having power and control over another living being. That's what they're afraid of. All right. Does the trauma bond completely heal? Yes. Now, only caveat, if you work on the original wound. Dun, 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 because that's what the trauma bonding is all about, guys. It's about healing that original wound. You've got to heal that original wound. You heal that original wound, you work on yourself, you find yourself, you get yourself back, you work on the self-esteem, you heal that original wound, you deal with all of that trauma bonding and shit like that. You're going to recognize an abuser a mile and a half away, and you're going to go, not so much, not today, Satan. And you're going to sidestep it. So that is what's going to keep you safe, is working on that original wound, doing the inner child work. That's what's going to help you. Getting a list of deal breakers, drawing strong boundaries, stop being codependent, stop thinking that you have to fix or take care of everybody and their dog. You do not resign. This is what's going to help you. The trauma bonding will get healed once you deal with the original wound. This is you fixing your picker. That's the only way your picker is ever going to be fixed, is if you heal the original wound. Boom, shakalaka. Okay. The physical withdrawal symptoms lasted a long time, just like with an addict. Yeah, you betcha. Got better and better, worth it in the end. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. All right. Even the tribulation narc is very abusive. That happened so many times when I was with my ex. Okay. Triangulation. Yes, they do that. All right. If you don't feel it, you end up with dark shadows in your body, blockages. Oh, that's energy work. Hello. Totally into that. And can cause physical pain, disease, and disorder. So if we're going to get metaphysical here, absolutely, you've got to feel it to heal it. You've got to remove all of that negative, nasty energy, because they're throwing energy at you all the time. You know that yucky feeling you get when they put you down or call you names or make you wrong or whatever? That's energy. It's energy. So not to sound like hippie California chick, but to sound like hippie California chick, yeah, you got to clean that energy out. You got to get those hooks of you out. Abso-freaking-lutely. Everything's energy, guys. Everything's energy. Get rid of that energy. It's not yours. You cannot heal them by taking on their nasty negative energy. You cannot. Okay. It took me 5 years to feel happier, but leaving was the best thing I ever did. It was traumatic and I was very depressed, but life is so much more on the up. Good. Good, 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 good. Tom, I will be coming to London. I swear to God. Okay. All right. How do you approach the issues when you are physically disabled and your mother and brother bully you to the point that it causes more health problems? Should legal representation be considered? Yes. Do what you need to stay safe. You may need to get out of that situation. You may need to go to a group home. You may need to do something different. You want things to be different, you're going to have to do things differently. And if you've got bullying family, then yeah, you probably need to get a social worker involved, adult protective services, something. Take care of you. Abso-freaking-lutely. You betcha. Okay. Okay, let's see. What if you're triggered by a conflict and need to take a time out to figure it out? Isn't that likely to okay. So there's a difference between a timeout and stonewalling. So in a healthy timeout, hold on just a second. I picked up my niece's cold, so I'm a little gravelly here. All right. In a healthy relationship, when an argument gets going, hopefully it's not going to be an argument. Hopefully it's going to be a discussion. You guys will be able to work things through. If, however, it gets to the point where it's like, this feels really familiar and I know exactly how this is going to end and this is not going to be good. So I need some time to process, because remember, not everybody is a think on their feet person. I'm a very much think on my feet person. That's why I like doing improv. That's why I like just getting out here and talking, because give me a topic and I can go for days. So, but because part of it is the acting training I had. But not everybody is that way. I'm also very much an extrovert. Some people are introverts, okay? And some people need time to process. And this is often a common thing that I see in couples, is that one will be the extrovert like me and a lot of anxiety and, hey, let's get this answered. Let's get it fixed now. And the other one's hold on. I got to process this. I need to turtle. I need to think. Okay. And it drives the extrovert crazy. Also, it drives the introvert crazy when the extrovert won't leave them alone. So timeouts are used in those situations. So a timeout is where you have agreed upon this ahead of time. Hey, if either one of us needs a break from a conversation, we're going to call a timeout. When a timeout is called, the subject is completely and totally dropped. Totally. No last little zingers, no last little fuck yous, nothing like that. It is dropped. And then you turn to your partner and you go, okay, timeout. Okay, topic is dropped. I love you. We're just not agreeing right now. I need a break. Let's take 10 minutes, half an hour at the most, so we both have time to think this through. and I will come back here at the appointed time. And then you agree. You don't just leave it 10 minutes to a half an hour. It's like, okay, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Or, okay, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Or you may need the whole half hour. Okay, I'll be back in a half an hour. You agree to meet at the appointed time. You go to separate parts of the house or even go for a walk. Hey, I'm going to go for a walk for 20 minutes. I will be back. So no leaving the house, slamming the door, that's called a hit and run. Fuck you. Don't do it. So what you're going to do is say, okay, time out. Subject is dropped. I love you. We're just not agreeing right now. Let's meet in 20 minutes. I'm going to go for a quick walk. I promise you I will be back in 20 minutes. And then in 20 minutes, you meet back up and you start the discussion again. And you call as many times out as you need. Stonewalling, on the other hand, is where one person gets all ego up in there and slams the door and storms off and then doesn't talk to them ever again. Timeouts is the healthy way to deal with disagreements. It's the healthy way to stop an argument and then regroup and then come back and start the discussion, not an argument, start the discussion again. Okay? That's the difference. I hope that explains it. There was no healthy expression of anger or conflict with my mom, so I can really struggle to know where I stand, and often I have to take timeouts and talk it out with someone to figure it all out. Yeah, that's going to happen. That's, if we came from a very toxic environment, I know a lot of people get very triggered by conflict. And here's the thing, guys, there's going to be conflict. Not every relationship is always going to be 100% smooth. It's just the way it is. Again, that doesn't mean that there's a lack of respect. It just means there's a lack of maybe understanding, or maybe there was a misstep, or maybe you guys just need to talk or whatever. So the conflict is healthy only if it is done with respect. You don't need to call names. You don't need to scream. You don't need to, you can be angry, to be sure, because we're human, but you can also make sure to separate out what you are angry about. I statement, angry when, let's say, the dishes don't get done. I feel disrespected when the dishes don't get done. As opposed to whipping out the you guns going, you didn't do the dishes, you're a horrible person, you're an awful spouse, blah, 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 blah. You. Nobody's going to listen to that. The second you whip out the you guns, the person's going to go, la, 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 fuck you, I'm not listening, la, 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 la. That's why you don't want to do that. So conflict is not necessarily bad. Arguing, being nasty, being mean, screaming, oh, fuck yeah, nobody needs to put up with that shit. Absolutely. You can have a disagreement without screaming at someone. But I'll tell you who does scream at people: abusers. Abusers scream, and they teach the target of abuse to scream back. I hate colds, just letting you know. And they also teach the target of abuse that that's how to deal with conflict. That is not how you deal with conflict. I can think of once in the 26 years I've been with John that I had to raise my voice with him, and he raised his voice with me. And that was early on in our relationship, before we really figured out how to have healthy discussions. Once, guys, once. Do we get mad? You bet. Do we work it through? You bet. Do we respect and love each other? Absolutely. Or I would not still be with him and he would stay with me. But when you're dealing with an abuser, they don't have respect. They don't have emotional regulation, and they will rage in an effort to shut you down so that they get their way. That's what raging is. That's what screaming is all about, is to over the top the other person so that they shut up. That's not healthy. That is not normal. That is not what a healthy relationship does. A healthy relationship, disagreements, you bet. A little bit of anger, possibly. But you always make sure to let your partner know that it's not them that you're angry at. You're angry at the situation. You're angry at the behavior. You separate out the sin from the sinner. Hello. It's like, I feel disrespected or angry when this behavior happens. I don't like it. And then that gives your partner a chance to go, oh shit, what I heard you say was, reflective listening, you feel angry or disrespected when this behavior happens. Is that right? Yes, that is right. Okay, well, let me work on this, and I will make sure that doesn't happen again. Or this is what happened, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you, etc. Do you see where I'm going? It's like, it's a conversation. It's not a nasty argument. Okay. And yes, anger frightens us as victims, targets of abuse. If we had an overly critical parent, an overly critical caregiver that was constantly screaming or yelling at us, yeah, that's going to trigger us like nobody's business. But we also have to take a deep breath and go, this person is not my mom. This person is not my dad. This person is my partner, my friend, my lover, my this, my that. You separate it out. So it takes practice. It does. Okay. When you're physically disabled, how do you cut off your narcissistic mother family from causing more damage? I think I answered that question. You move to a different place. You either get into a group home, you declare yourself independent, you find an adult protective services, you talk to a social worker, you don't put up with abuse, period. Chris, if you are dating them in the beginning and they know they already got you hooked, would they start lying about you to other people, do the smear thing? I'm not sure I understand the question. What I have seen abusers do is they'll get somebody to date them and they know that they have them hooked, and then they're still looking for other supply. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, James. If you could kind of clarify that. I'm not sure what you mean by that. How can you tell if someone is a flying monkey? Well, they push the abuser's agenda. Oh no, you shouldn't leave them. Oh no, you should stay with them. Oh no, this person's really good for you. Oh, well, so-and-so said such and such. Gossip mongers. They're gossip mongers. They are constantly not looking out for your best interest, and they are constantly trying to please the abuser. Those are the flying monkeys. And the flying monkeys can be your parents. They can be, in-laws. They can be anybody. So for example, somebody mentioned that they were dating a narcissist and her mother loved him. Oh, he's just fabulous. You should stay with him, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. If you're telling your mom that you're being abused and this stuff is happening and they're keeping you up at night and they're depriving you of sleep and they're sabotaging your job and they're making you stop contact with your family and your friends and having you throw your kids under the bus, and your mom's okay with that? Houston, there's a problem. Do you see where I'm going with that? That's a flying monkey. She's behaving like a flying monkey. She's doing it on the behalf of the abuser, which means she's probably an abuser herself. So there's that. Okay. How do I start writing my own autobiography of my own narcissistic experience? You start at the beginning. How far back can you remember it? I started mine when I was a little kid. I started mine like day, whatever, 365 or whatever, it's like I talked about my mom, my dad, my grandparents, that dynamic, the siblings, me growing up, when I realized it wasn't normal, what happened as I was growing up. It's really not that hard. You just start writing and it just flows. So there it is. Okay. Yeah, brainstorm all your thoughts. Just write them down. And it doesn't have to be in order. So when I write stuff generally chronologically. That's pretty much the way I do things. But sometimes I will have an experience or something will trigger something. I'll write something and it'll trigger something else. And I'll be like, oh, I should write about this as well. I'll just skip down a couple of pages, throw it in, write it out so that it's a complete thought. Because you don't want to do just like one sentence because you're going to be like, what the hell was I thinking? So you just write it out and then you plug it all in. It's just a matter of practice. Okay, I'm now afraid of relationships years on. What can I do to move on now that I'm aware that I was with a narcissist? You just heal yourself. You work on your picker. You make sure that whoever you're getting involved with is not another abuser. You make sure that you are 100% healed, that original wound is 100% healed, that you have your list of deal breakers together, that the word no is your friend and you're not afraid to use it. That's what you do. Okay. Well, if they're a flying monkey, they will ask you way too much information trying to get you to talk. Yeah, absolutely. And they'll run back to the abuser, you betcha. All right. EEOC. For frick's sake, what the hell is the name of it? Hang on, guys. Hang on. I'm going to look it up. EEOC. All right. It stands for U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So it's the EEOC.gov. www.eeoc.gov. And you can file complaints there about hostile work environment. All right. All right, I had to do that recently with my HR department, saying that my doctor's excuses from my therapist were unacceptable because it didn't have a diagnosis on it. My therapist filed a complaint with HIPAA. Good for her or him. And then my work had to change their policy. I was the only person to stand up to them, and it paid off. Yeah, see, this is the thing. They don't want to get sued. They don't want to get sued. And you mess with HIPAA laws, oh, that's a big no-no. You betcha. Okay. NARC is contesting the protection order I got against him, so I have to go to court March 6th. What do I have to bring to court that wasn't already in the application? What should I do or expect in court? Okay, so basically the judge is just going to ask you, you know, why you filed the complaint and are you feeling threatened? And the answer to that is obviously yes. You bring any evidence you have, any evidence, like emails, texts, you know, bring a witness with you. Your Honor, this person was with me when they showed up at my work. You know, this is my coworker. This is, you know, whatever. They're just going to ask you, you know, and then of course the ex is going to do the whole, you know, dramatic, you know, accusing you of being the abuser, blah, 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 blah. And the thing of it is, and hopefully the judge will have two brain cells to rub together. If someone doesn't want you around them, why would you fight that? Why would you demand to have contact with somebody who doesn't want you around them? Hello? Yeah, most judges are able to go, yeah, why do you need contact with this person? Especially if there's no children involved. If there's children involved, okay, yeah. Now you're going to have a different issue because you're going to have to show that there is abuse, neglect, etc., that they are dangerous, etc., you know, demanding a psych eval, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, that's a little different issue. If it's just you and the ex and they're trying to fight the order and you're like, this person is harassing me, this person is making me feel fearful, this person is trying to ruin my career, this person is et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, the only people that fight those things are abusers. So, and hopefully the judge will figure that out, because honestly, if you don't want somebody around you and you tell them that and they go ahead and do it anyway and you have to file an order of protection, and now they're fighting that order of protection, a normal person would be like, damn, okay, backing off, hello. A normal person wouldn't get an order against them, period. But a narcissist would, so, because they're so freaking arrogant, they can't conceive that they can't do what they want to do. And that's really what it is. It's like now the government is telling them they can't do what they want to do. Well, how dare you? I'm me. Don't you know that I'm me? Don't you know that I should have access to my abuse target? Yeah. So that's basically, they're just going to want all the evidence. You're going to need to show that you are fearful. If you have a therapist, bring in the notes that show that you are fearful. Absolutely. So yeah, that's what you're going to want to do, is bring in the notes, bring in, you know, something from the therapist saying, yeah, this guy or this girl is crazy and they are threatening my client and I encourage them to get an order of protection and blah, 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 blah. Absolutely. All right. All right. Yeah, they can be dangerous. Absolutely. They absolutely, it's called obsessive X syndrome. It does not only apply to a romantic relationship. You know, as a therapist, I have narcissists all the time being pissed that I got their favorite punching bag away from them, and they will do things like that. And so, yeah, they are dangerous. Absolutely. That's why you file an order of protection. That's why you get rid of trolls as soon as they come on. That's why you don't put up with stuff. It's like, nope, nope, and a side of nope, and nope, and go find another target because it ain't gonna be me, motherfuckers. So yeah, that's exactly it. It's like they want the easy, they want the low-hanging fruit, basically. And if they get their jollies off on thinking that they're frightening you and et cetera, and if you're just like balls to the wall, fuck you. Here's an order of protection. Deal with it. Yeah, yeah, they're crazy, guys. They are dangerous. You bet. That's why I conceal carry. That's also why I carry pepper spray with me. Absolutely. I got both. It's like I've got lethal and I've got non-lethal. Absolutely. You betcha. And I know how to use it. So you betcha. Okay, because Brent Bryson, who's my friend, who's an attorney, loves to take me out shooting, which is so funny. That's where we have our one-to-ones when we do BNI group stuff. It's like, he's like, let's go shooting. I'm like, well, there's not going to be a whole lot of talking, but it's fun. All right. How do you bring back your sense of worth after a toxic relationship? Okay, so the first year is going to be hard because you're going to be second guessing. You're going to be What did I do wrong? You're going to make it about you. You're going to be like, I did something wrong. I did something wrong. I did something wrong. No, you didn't. You ended a toxic relationship, and you're going to be second guessing. If only I'd said this, if only I'd done this, if only I, maybe if I'd done this, or maybe if I wore that, or maybe if I said this, or maybe if, this is what we do because we're human, because we have an actual soul and we actually have empathy. And so we're always going, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? What could I have done differently? It's not you, guys. It's never going to be you. It wasn't you in the beginning. It's not you at the end. It's not. It's them. It absolutely is them. Normal, healthy people do not harm people they love, period. So there that is. How do you get back your sense of self-worth after the toxic relationship? You work on you. You get with a good therapist. You do the self-esteem workbook. You do the things that you used to love. What did you used to love to do before the narcissist? What did you used to love to do? When was the last time you flew a kite? When was the last time you went bowling? When was the last time you wrote? When was the last time you sang? When was the last time you did karaoke? When was the last time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? What did you used to like to do? What did you used to like to do? Get back to you. Find you again. You've lost you, because we twist ourselves into pretzels trying to be whatever it is that the narcissist wants us to be. And that is constantly changing. It's never good enough. Never. You're not making enough money. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Why are you wearing this? Why are you saying this? Why are you dressing this way? I don't like your hair. I want it to be this way. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Please you. Go back to finding you. Figure out who you are. Absolutely. It's going to take time. That's why I'm saying you are in no place or position to get into another relationship. And that is the biggest mistake that people make, is rather than taking the time to get with a therapist, a good one, and start working on that original wound, they dive right into another relationship because the pain is too frightening and it's too overwhelming. And they think that if they can just get with that other person and make them love them, then that's going to prove mom or dad wrong. Doesn't work that way, guys. Doesn't work that way. Trust me, I tried that. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. You got to heal that original wound, and not by dating somebody just like your original abuser. So, or your original neglector, either one. Okay. So you got to work on you. You got to figure out who you are. That's our task, is after leaving in a relationship, an abusive relationship, we've got to figure out who we are. What are our wants? What are our needs? What do we want? What did we want to do? What did we used to enjoy doing? Where did we used to like going? What did we, what made us happy? Really, truly. And if you tell me it's being in a relationship, I'm going to perform slap therapy on you. Seriously. You need to be in a relationship with you. First and foremost, period. Okay. All right. They wanted us to engage in dangerous lifestyle decisions. Yep. Toxic food habits. You bet. Okay. What you said about heroin addiction is so true. I have a friend who just got out of a horrible marriage with a narcissist, and she immediately ran into the arms of another one, even more dangerous narc. She is so addicted to the narcissistic supply that only a narc or psychopath can provide. No one else can love bomb like that. That's true. So long as she is not willing to fill her own self-love deficit, she is going to keep repeating this very sad cycle. Abso-frickin-lutely. It's like, you show me somebody who doesn't work on themselves, and I will show you somebody who continually gets involved in a more and more dangerous relationship. You betcha. It's so hard to watch someone who is addicted to this. I find myself more triggered by codependents who are still trauma bonded to the narcissist than I am to actual overt narcissists. I am retired active codependent who doesn't bond with narcissists. I bond with passive codependents who seem to only bond with narcissists. So I end up feeling brokenhearted watching them lose themselves. Look, guys, it's an addiction. And it's just like with any addiction, are they done? Are they going to put their drug down? Are they done? Can they put the bottle down? Can they put the pill down? Can they put the syringe down? Are they done? And if they're not, there is not a person on the face of the planet that can save them. The only person that can save them is them at this point. And it's hard to watch, which is why stop. Please stop. Please go find somebody healthy and normal. Please, you cannot fix them because you did not break them. It's not your job. It's not your job to fix them. And it's heartbreaking to stand by and watch somebody destroy themselves. So the answer to that is don't stand by and watch them destroy themselves. You can stand on the other side of the door, absolutely. And as you're shutting it, you can say, okay, when you put down your drug of choice, when you put down your heroin, when you put down your abuser and you're done, I'll be standing over here on the other side of this door. I'll be right here. All you got to do is walk through the door. But it's up to them to walk through. The invitation's there. You can shut the door. You don't have to watch it. Don't necessarily lock it, but shut the door so that you don't have to watch it. Absolutely. Because it is heartbreaking to watch somebody brilliant, funny, kind, gentle, talented like nobody's business suddenly become a shell of their former selves. Absolutely. And you don't have to watch it. You don't. You're under no obligation. Okay. Hello, Deborah from Atlanta. What are we talking about today? I'm just answering questions, Eric, because I had so many questions this last week. It's just, wow, lots of questions. Okay. Thank you for not sugarcoating. Yeah, I don't sugarcoat things. I'm pretty damn blunt. That's the way I do things. All right. All right. I can't seem to remember much of my childhood. It's sporadic, and to be honest, most of the memories are induced only by photos. How do you find the original wound? Do you recommend doing age 3, then age 4, see what I remember, and then et cetera, et cetera? Would dearly love to know how. Yeah, because when we've got trauma in our past, that is part of CPTSD, that is part of PTSD. We're not always going to remember about the event. We're not. So there's going to be blanks sometimes. Now, this is not true for everyone. Some people can remember their entire childhoods. Others can't. So you just kind of put it together and you start looking at how you've been acting out the abuse as an adult. In other words, have you been drawn to abusers? Have you been drawn to people who harm you? Have you been drawn to codependents who refuse to save themselves? What's going on there? And then you start working backwards. It's like, okay, well, when did this first start happening? When did I first start being attracted to this? Who was I trying to fix? Who was I trying to heal? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you just piece it together and get with a good therapist. And EMDR. EMDR is great. I love EMDR for trauma. Absolutely. That's a great one to do. Okay. How do you remind yourself that new supplies are still objects to the narc hole for a purpose, that narc holes don't turn into a caring Prince Charming? Okay. So what the narcissist will do, what the abuser will do, is they will dump you for a new supply, and they will tell you how wonderful they are, and they are perfect, and they were everything they ever wanted, and look at how perfect this new person is as compared to you, who wasn't good enough, blah, 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 blah. Honey, it ain't going to last. It ain't going to last, because as soon as that person doesn't meet their narcissistic supply, they're going to be on the outs, and another one will be in. Trust me on that one. They don't make enough money. Oh, look, I'm going to find somebody else. Oh, they don't, praise me constantly. Oh, look, I'm going to find somebody else. That's what they do. That is what they do. So they don't suddenly have this miraculous change. They are social chameleons. And somebody posted that on one of the posts that I posted. It's like, it's heartbreaking because they turn themselves into you and you fall in love with you. And then when they get bored, or you don't, ask how high when they say jump, then they start looking for another supply. They start doing the devalue and the discard. And, then they become that other person's perfect mirror, and then everything's perfect for a while, and then same thing. It's a never ending story. The only time I've seen that go on for years at a time is if you are dealing with two abusers. So usually the classic scenario is a malignant borderline with a malignant narcissist, and then they just sit there and feed off of each other, and it's not pretty to watch. So yeah. Okay. How do we protect our children when it is court ordered that children go to visitations at the narc's house? You probably would be wise to get with an attorney and talk to them about finding out about getting a psych eval. Absolutely. That should always be your first concern. If you are leaving an abusive relationship, you want to demand a psych eval. Absolutely. You want a good attorney and you want to demand a psych eval. And you want to ask for supervised visitations if you can. Now, some narcissists are able to fly under the radar and they're not able to, you're not able to get supervised supervisions. Supervised visits. The problem of it is that when the kids come back, they're going to act out because you're the safer target. You're the safer person. So they can't necessarily get mad at dad or mom, whoever the abuser is. But when they come back, they're going to be acting out because you're safe. So get them into a good therapist. Get them into a good therapist. Make sure that therapy is part of your custody agreement that you get to pick, because the narcissist will try to prevent that. Abso-freaking-lutely. I was just wondering, when two codependents enter into a love relationship, how can they make it work? Well, they can, but it's going to be a lot of effort, and I would strongly recommend getting into a good therapist so that you guys are not sacrificing yourself, turning into a martyr in order to make the other person happy. That's not a healthy relationship either. Balance, guys. It's all about balance. It's give and take. It's give and take, give and take. And every relationship is going to have give and take. But with a narcissist, it's going to be all take, 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 take. With two codependents, it's like, who can out-martyr each other? And you don't want to do that either. So get with a good therapist. Make sure that it's a healthy relationship. Okay. Where's Deadpool? I don't know where my Deadpool cup is. I'm gonna have to find it. It's somewhere in the kitchen. Okay. What does a mother do if her daughter is considering getting back with a narcissistic boyfriend? Words of wisdom and warnings aren't working. Well, here's the thing. Some people just need to experience horrible things. That's the way they learn. The thing you could do is you could show them the book, Object of My Affection is in My Reflection, Coping with a Narcissist. Have them read it. You know, hey, this is a good book. You might want to read it. The problem of it is that when somebody is in the fog, the fear, obligation, and guilt, and they are being dazzled by the love bombing phase, nothing you say is going to matter, because they're right and you're wrong, and they know better than you, and they're going to show you. And anytime you bring up the abuser in any way, shape, or form, and you're trying to warn them, they will get mad at you because here's reality, here's their magic thinking, and it does not match. So they get very angry. So you're risking kind of alienating them completely from your life. So you would just want to plant seeds. You want to plant seeds. You're worthy of a healthy relationship. You're worthy of somebody to respect you. Healthy relationships do not have abuse, name-calling, lying, cheating, isolation. That's not a healthy relationship. And if this person is doing this to you, sweetie, you don't deserve that. You know, you just plant seeds, plant seeds, plant seeds. That's really all you can do. It's up to them. It's up to her. And that's a frightening prospect. You want to try to maintain a relationship as much as you possibly can. The abuser is going to try to make it so that you can't. As soon as you say something bad about them, the target of abuse is going to run back to the abuser and tell them. And then the abuser is going to be like, you don't want to be around them. I don't want you around them. They're just going to badmouth me. Ba, 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 ba. So it's a tightrope walk. It is a tightrope walk, and I talk about it here in my book because that's what I deal with. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them cha-cha. Available on Amazon, print on demand. And I do talk about case studies where you're dealing with adult children or nearly adult children that keep going into these abusive relationships and how that plays out and what you could possibly do. So there is that. Okay. What does a mother, okay, okay, answered that one. Are narcissists born, or are they a product of environment? Yes. Nature, nurture. We don't know for sure, but yes, it is both. You can be predisposed to it, and it is environmental as well. It's a learned behavior. It becomes ingrained. Yeah, it's both. There's nature, nurture, it's both. Because you can have a family and one will be personality disordered and the rest of the kids will be relatively okay. Why? Who knows? Nature, nurture, who knows? Okay. No children involved. Okay, then he has no reason to be contacting you. If you're feeling threatened and you have proof that he's threatening you and harassing you, there's no reason for him to be contacting you. Okay. Can you really be healed 100%? Yes. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to work on that original wound. You heal that original wound, you're good to go. Because now you're not trying to fix that original wound by shoving other people into it or onto it. Does that make sense? So you fix that original wound, you draw strong boundaries, you get back in relationship with yourself, you have your list of deal breakers, you recognize who you are and what you want, you're good to go. You are good to go. Absolutely. Okay, time and therapy. Yep, absolutely. It takes time and therapy. Yeah, normal people do not harm the people they love. They don't, not intentionally. Absolutely. Like I said, missteps will happen, miscommunication will happen, and the abuser will always say, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Bull fucking shit, especially if they say it over and over and over again. I'm sorry. You don't harm somebody over and over and over again. Once, twice on the outset. More than that, once is a fluke. Twice is a coincidence. 3 or more is a pattern, guys. Period. It's a choice, okay? Get that through your heads. All right. You don't have to put up with that. You do not have to put up with that. I have to sleep with a knife under my pillow because I'm scared of my narcissistic family. Get out. Get out. Get a social worker. Get out. How to find trust. Okay. So trust is... Trust has been taken away from us by our original wound. Okay. When we were little kids, we knew something was off. We did. I did. And yet we're watching the pink elephant taking a shit in the corner of the living room, but our family is sitting there going, oh no, you don't see the pink elephant. Oh, there's no pink elephant there. Gaslighting. There's nothing there. No, mom and dad are normal. No, don't look over here. Look over here. Don't look over here. Look over here. Do you see where I'm going with that? So we very quickly learn not to listen to our gut, not to listen to our intuition. Again, energy. Hello. So it's going to take time to get quiet and listen to your gut, not your heart, not your head. These two will steer you wrong each and every time. The gut never does, but you've got to get quiet enough and you got to shut this thing off. Blah, 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 blah. Got to shut it down in order to hear the yes or no answer. Guts are yes or no answers. They're not complicated. Let's talk about this whole scenario thing. That's your head or your heart. Guts are yes or no. Is this person good for me? Yes or no. And your intuition will tell you. It takes training. That's why I like meditation. Meditation is great. That's why I like therapy. Therapy is great. Learning to trust your gut, learning to trust your instincts, undoing the brainwashing that we went through as kids or the brainwashing that we went through as a romantic partner. Because our romantic partner also does the whole, oh, no, this is not reality. This is reality. They do that. They gaslight. And then we start not trusting ourselves. You must trust yourself first and foremost. And that means you have to get back in touch with yourself. That means you have to work on self-esteem. You have to work on boundaries. You have to work on what is your gut telling you? What are your deal breakers? What will you not put up with? And the second somebody breaks one of those, be done. They've showed you who they are the first time. You don't have to stick around for another 20 times to believe them. Okay? Be done. Be done being abused. That's basically it. I'm glad I made you laugh, Lola. Okay. All right. Someone told me who really doesn't know me, told me I stayed with my ex snark as a way to belong because I like the pain. Oh, fuck them. So that's like victim blaming. So anytime somebody starts victim blaming, you can pretty much bet that they either do not understand narcissistic abuse, or they are a flying monkey, or they're an abuser themselves. Do not listen to these people. Don't get me started. Victim blaming pisses me right the fuck off. So we are addicted to the intermittent positive rewards, not the abuse, guys. We're addicted to the intermittent positive rewards. Okay. It's Stockholm syndrome. Absolutely. It's not that we're like masochists going, oh, baby, hurt me. We don't enjoy that. But what we do enjoy is when they come back to that incredible love bombing and that mirroring, because it's intoxicating like a drug. That's what we're addicted to. So you have to treat it like an addiction. You have to go cold turkey. Abso-freaking-lutely. Are you done being abused? If you are, put your drug down. All right. Okay. How does someone become a narcissist? Well, nature, nurture. Remember the kids I was talking about in Disneyland? Sense of entitlement, didn't have any rules. Nobody was enforcing the rules. They were, the mom and dad had just abdicated and was letting the cast members, enforce the rules. That's how they become a narcissist. All right. It reminds me of being told other people's opinions of me that I've never met and never will. They make sure not so no one can share notes. Yeah. Don't listen to triangulation. All right, Chris, I wonder if my dad may have been a quiet borderline. How do I tell the difference between that and if he possibly was CPTSD, reactive, and abused? He didn't realize he was being abused. So I've done videos on the different types of narcissists. I've done videos on the different types of borderlines. So there is quiet borderline, hermit, the queen, and the witch. So the queen and the witch are the ones that are malignant. The quiet and the hermit ones are less so. The quiet one especially harms themselves. Borderline personality disorder can be, and that's actually one of the other questions I have on here, can be misdiagnosed. It can be confused with PTSD, because in PTSD there is also that very reactive anger. Anger is very quick to go to the forefront, raging a little bit. So sometimes that'll get misdiagnosed as borderline personality disorder. However, I also want to point out borderline personality disorder is rooted in trauma. So there is probably some CPTSD going on with them as well. However, that is not an excuse to abuse other people. So the other diagnosis that gets misdiagnosed is bipolar. So when in the manic phase, they can be misdiagnosed as histrionic or borderline personality disorder. So, okay. And so I've done videos on that. So just go look up the videos that I've done on the different types of borderline and the different types of narcissism, because there's communal, there's overt, there's covert, there's a whole bunch of them. Also, Stop Walking on Eggshells by, not Raquel Lerner, Stop Walking on Eggshells by Randy Krieger, and The Object of My Affection is in My Reflection, Coping with a Narcissist by Raquel Lerner. Okay. EMDR does not work for everybody. Yes, you are absolutely correct. It does not work for everybody. So you find something that does. So that's the thing. Okay. I think Kindle messed up. So you're saying it's all in italics. No, it should not be in italics. It should be okay. If anybody else is having that problem, please let me know. Okay. Okay. When you don't have anyone in your life to impress, how do you stay motivated about goals, accomplishments? Where does the emotional reward motivation in your life come from once you've ditched the idea of living to impress the narcissist? I'm struggling with some apathy for my own goals. Yes, because we're looking outside of ourselves. We're looking for other esteem. That is not self-esteem. That is other esteem. You need to be your own cheerleader. You do. You absolutely do. So in the morning, you wake up, you look in the mirror, you make eye contact with yourself, and you go, hello, good to see you. So nice to have somebody say good to see you. Really. And especially if it's you saying it's good to see you. That's a really lovely way to start the day. Have a good day. I wish you to have a good day. I give you permission to like yourself. I give you permission to accept your own positive self-esteem. That's what you do. You start doing it for you. And then at night when you come home, same thing, go to the bathroom, wash your hands, brush your teeth, do whatever you need to do, come back to the mirror. Hi, good to see you again. Hey, here are 3 things you did right, and I'm so proud of you. And then you list them off. And then I give you permission to sleep. Oh, to just rest well. That's how you do that. Another question that I got was, why do they use sleep deprivation? So sleep deprivation is used, it's a form of torture. It's what happens to POWs. It's to make them more malleable. It's to make them more susceptible to whatever suggestion is being given to them by their abuser, by their torturer, by their captor. And then the question was, well, but don't they need sleep too? Well, yeah, but if you'll notice, it's perfectly okay for them to take naps. It's perfectly okay for them to sleep in. It's perfectly okay for them to get a full night's rest. But God forbid you disturb that nap or sleeping in or anything else. Oh, you will never hear the end of it. You know what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Can there be attachment issues if your mother was in major grief, lost her father suddenly when the child, me at the time, was 8 months old? Yes, absolutely. If somebody is dealing with their own grief issues, they're not paying attention to their kid. So yeah, there's going to be an attachment issue there. You betcha. So when there is major grief going on and a parent is grieving, you know, they've lost their partner, they've lost their parent, they've lost somebody, and there's a small child around, yeah, there could potentially be an insecure attachment because that parent is not able to deal with themselves and their own grief, let alone then give to a small one. So yeah, absolutely. You might want to talk to a therapist about that. Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, don't ignore your gut reactions. Your gut will never, ever, ever, ever lie to you. Are my family and friends privileged enough to be in my life if they still accept the narc in my life, claiming they just don't see what I am seeing and they don't see the abuse? They're flying monkeys. You don't need that. You do not need that. You do not need that. Anybody who supports the abuser is being abusive, period. They are a flying monkey. You do not need that. So there's that. Boundaries, absolutely. What do I mean by flying monkey? Flying monkey are the people, the family, and the friends that support the abuser, that encourage the abuse, that gaslight along with the abuser, who encourage somebody to stay with somebody who's abusive. Those are flying monkeys. Flying monkeys do the bidding of the abuser. So a flying monkey will tell, or an abuser will tell a flying monkey, well, go tell such and such so-and-so, and they'll go do the dirty work for the abuser. So abusers will use anything as a flying monkey. They'll use the court system as a flying monkey. They'll try to manipulate and control the target of abuse by filing motion after motion after motion after motion. Absolutely. So they try to use the court system. Hopefully, most court systems are starting to catch a clue. So, and especially if you can get a therapist to write things up and say, look, this is what's going on. This is what's happening, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's helpful. It's really helpful. Okay. Done being abused. Good job. Okay. Do very jealous people, are they aware of what they're doing? Yes. So here's the deal. Healthy people are not jealous. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Healthy people are not jealous. I mean, they may have the occasional, oh, wow, I wish, or gosh, kind of thing, but you're not generally jealous. You're not. You're just not. So abusers are pathological. Malignant borderlines, malignant narcissists. I'm talking the malignant ones here, guys, not the quiet ones. And they are pathological. They are so jealous. They are jealous of children. They are jealous of dogs. They are jealous of cats. They are jealous of everybody. They do not want the target of abuse to be around anybody. They will go to the children, even adult children, and say, you're spending too much time with your mom or your dad, and you're not giving me enough time with my lover. They will do this. And they will make sure that that child is now out of that person's life because they want to isolate them completely. They are pathologically jealous. They'll be jealous of best friends. They'll be jealous of sisters. They'll be jealous of brothers. They'll be jealous of fathers. They'll be jealous of moms. They'll be jealous. You name it, they'll be jealous of it. They'll be jealous of employers. You name it, they'll be jealous of it because they are pathologically insecure, period. Okay, and they do absolutely know what they're doing, you betcha. And they project. So if you have been honest and faithful and true, and they're suddenly saying that you're cheating and you're doing this and you're doing that, you can bet that that's what they're doing. It's called projection. Okay. Okay. According to you, what is the best way to handle shame breakouts when you get triggered? You turn it to righteous anger. CPTSD, From Surviving to Thriving, by Pete Walker. I think it's in chapter 3, I believe. He talks about turning the shame into righteous anger and putting it back onto the abuser. Abso-fucking-lutely. It is not your baggage. Do not pick it up off the carousel. You give it back to the abuser. Absolutely. You get angry. You get angry. You have nothing to be ashamed of, but they do, because normal people don't hurt good people, period. Okay. Do they understand how selfish they are? No, they don't. They have a sense of entitlement. Again, you are ascribing normal feelings to an abnormal situation. Narcissists and borderlines, malignant, do not get that they are being selfish. They don't. They have a sense of entitlement. They deserve it because they are them. They don't get a sense of fair play. There is no fair play there, guys. They don't get that their behavior is egregious. They don't get it. They're the victim. Everybody else is mean to them. They're the victim. Don't get me started. Yeah, do one thing a day that makes you smile. I think that's brilliant advice. Dance. Yes. I turn on Duran Duran or 80s music and I start dancing. I love it. Do it. Do the stuff that makes you smile. Get your smile back. Absolutely. My ex-narc still tries to send me on an up and down roller coaster. Now I'm not with him. I can see it plainly. It's better than the nonverbal grunting, but I'm sleeping I'm stepping back big time. Listening to you the last few weeks has brought a lot of self-realization. I'm very grateful that I could help you. Good. Keep going. Don't allow anybody to treat you like shit. Just don't, because you're worth more. So don't forget that. Mindfulness is power. It absolutely is. Become mindful, and boy, you've got it down. And there's nothing that any abuser could do to you, because you see it and you acknowledge it and you're in the moment and you're like, yep, nope, not today, Satan. Okay. Okay. Yeah, grandparents can be a problem. If you've got narcissistic grandparents, they'll try to file for grandparent rights. So in the state of Arizona, they can only do that if you've been divorced for 3 months or not having a partner for 3 months. So they can try, but generally the courts are loath to do that. So because generally the courts understand that if a parent is keeping a grandchild away from a grandparent, there's probably a pretty good reason. So, all right. Yeah. Wizard of Oz, flying monkeys. That's exactly where it comes from. You bet. Chris, can your gut feeling get stronger? I have been an emotional eater. I feel like I'm trying to get stronger and look after myself better, and I hope my gut feeling is getting stronger. At first, I didn't know it was there, but I knew that something wasn't right in my family of origin. Yeah, absolutely. It gets stronger. Absolutely. It's like with any other muscle. You got to flex it. You got to use it. You got to practice it. That's what I'm saying. Meditation. Meditation is great. There's a whole bunch of great meditation stuff out there. Pema Chodron is awesome. I love her. So Buddhist meditation I like, but any kind of meditation that's positive, do it. Start trusting your gut, listening to your gut. Yes or no questions. That's what it's going to give you. Do I trust this person or not? Yes or no. Trust that. Don't listen to your head. Don't listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. Okay. I still have a horrid fear of having to be around my abuser. Yeah. I only see the person a few times a year. My entire body wants to fight being near them. At the mere thought of being around the person, does this ever end? Well, no, because you recognize evil when you see it. So when you see an abuser, it's like your body is going, oh, hell no, bitches. We are peace the fuck out of here. Mwah, hasta. Seriously. So that feeling never goes away, and that's good. That's actually good, because that's your gut going, oh, hell no, we don't want to be around them. Absolutely not. So yeah. So that feeling is always going to be there. Just know that it's always going to be there. And it's normal because they're evil. Sorry, they're abusive. That's kind of, that's your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn thing going off. It's like, I don't want to be around here. So yeah, it's a normal, but you have to maintain calm if you have to see them, especially if you're in court, because you don't want to give them the pleasure. You don't. So you maintain that, that gray rock. Gray rock is your friend. Do gray rock, even though you're shivering inside. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie The King and I. It's an old 1958 musical. Love it. Deborah Kerr, she did not do her own singing. But she whistles a happy tune. Even though she's terrified, she whistles a happy tune. And that's kind of what you got to do when you have to face the abuser in court. That's kind of what you have to do when you have to see them in real life. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, they will be jealous of even children, even babies. You betcha. That's happens every once in a while. You hear of some Yahoo, some narcole killing a child because they were jealous of the child. And so they abused them to the point of death. You bet. Oh yeah. Okay. Jealous of even hobbies, making curtains. Yes, they are terribly jealous of hobbies. And they will destroy things you're proud of. You bet. If you made curtains, if you made a dress, if you made anything that you're proud of, how dare you? How dare you feel something they can't and that they had no part of? That's what they're pissed about. So yeah, threatening to cut them up. Yeah, they'll do that to hobbies. You bet. Paintings, they'll ruin paintings. You name it. Okay, let's see. Hungry like a wolf, Duran, yes. Okay. All right, okay. Yeah. In Christianity, it's called recognition of evil as discernment. And I believe that's my gut. You bet. You know evil when you see it. You do. Especially as you get healthier and recognize that's not what I want in my life. You bet. Okay. Is there help in believing in God or spiritual guidance, especially if you don't have a cheerleader? It doesn't have to be a religion, guys. It doesn't. It could be the tree outside. Seriously, this is what I keep trying to tell people. So when I tell people to go through AA or to use AA as a guideline, because we are managing an addiction, it is, and they're like, oh, it's too religious and blah, 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 blah. Okay, but then substitute higher power with the tree outside or the rock outside. I don't really give a fuck. Whatever works for you. The universe, okay? It's whatever works for the water, the ocean, whatever. A llama. I don't care. You don't have to have a religion. It's just a sense of a higher power. Higher power could be the air. I don't care. Just use it, So I can't tell you how to have religion. I can't tell you how to have spirituality. It's, again, like trust. It takes practice. You got to find what works for you. Some people, they love the Christianity stuff. Other people are more into Buddhism. Other people like Hindi. Other people like whatever. So explore. Go explore. So I was raised very heavily in the hardcore, fundamental, you're going to die, everything you do is evil because you're a woman, bullshit religion of Southern Baptist. It was like the hardcore fundamentalist, nasty stuff. When I left the house at 17, that's when I started exploring Eastern religion, because I was like, this doesn't fly for me. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that a higher power, a God, would hate half of him or herself, because we're created in his or her image. So that's when I went into Buddhism, and that's not a religion. It is a philosophy, and it actually melds quite nicely with Christianity. So, you find what works for you. You just go explore, there's great books out there on Buddhism. It's Buddhism for Dummies, Dummies for Buddhism, something like that. That was a great book. You just read, you watch, you look, you figure, you go feel your gut, what works for you. That's really what it is. If nature is your thing, do it. If Buddhism is your thing, do it. If Christianity is your thing, do it. If Islam is your thing, do it. Trust your gut. That's really what it is. That's where the spirituality comes from. It's that oneness with the universe, whatever that universe is. That's really what it is. It's that unconditional love that we didn't get as kids from our original wound. So we have to learn unconditional love for ourselves and for the universe. Now, abusers will then say, oh, but Chris, you are so horrible to abusers. I don't put up with evil bitches. I don't. Sorry, if somebody's an abuser, I am not going to allow them into my life. That is called having idiot compassion. That's what Pema Chodron talks about. So in Buddhism, you have compassion for every living creature. You do, and I can see that they're suffering. Honestly, we talked about it earlier when we say, oh, they're miserable. They are. They're absolutely, you cannot treat another human being the way an abuser treated us and be happy. You can't. And they are suffering, and they are going to suffer the consequences of their behavior. They absolutely are. It's called karma. So you can have compassion for them, but that does not mean you need them in your life. You do not have to have them in your life. You don't. You can love them from afar. You can have compassion for them from afar. You do not need to have them in your life, period. So there's that. I hope that answered that question. I'm not sure it did. Okay. All right. What happens when we grow in a healthier way? Do they get weaker? What happens when we see them again? Will they have shame, the shame they projected? They will want to try to control and manipulate, and they will never have shame because it's not in their vocabulary. They get weaker in our own mind. So they're only powerful up here, guys. They're not powerful in reality. They're not. They think they are. They're not. You can only be abused if you think you deserve that. And because of the original wound, we're trying to fix it. So we get with somebody just like that person, and we allow ourselves to be harmed until we figure it out, until we go, I'm done being abused. I'm done putting down the drug. Don't need it anymore. I don't need this experience anymore. I cannot fix my original wound by trying to fix the abuser. I'm done. I get to work on me. I get to fix me, period. So they get weaker in our minds. They no longer have power. It's just like Labyrinth. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Labyrinth with David Bowie and the fabulous codpiece. Happy Place, sorry. So it's just like that. At the end of the movie, Jennifer Connelly says, you have no power over me. You have no power here. You're done. You have no power. Poof! Blows up, goes away. So it's all in our heads, guys. That's why we got to work on ourselves. That's why we got to fix ourselves. That's why we got to heal the original wound. That's why we've got to work on that so that they have no power over us in our heads. Yep, absolutely. Okay. I moved somewhere surrounded by trees and knew it was the perfect place to heal. Yeah. And some people it's the ocean. Some people it's the mountains. Some people it's whatever. Go do whatever floats your boat. You betcha. I'm a Christian who is anti-religion. It's a relationship with my higher power who is Jesus. There you go. It depends on what works for you. Absolutely. Yeah, that's spiritual abuse is not God and it is not love. So when somebody hides behind Jesus's robes and uses that as an excuse to harm somebody, that's abuse. It's called a communal narcissist, you bet. Because they're the ones who are going to church 4 times a week and, giving money to the church like crazy, but then behind closed doors, they're abusing the living crap out of their own family, you betcha. All right. What is mirroring? Mirroring is where the abuser pretends to be you. So they mirror back to you who you are. Your kindness, your gentleness, your empathy, your sweetness, your love of humor, your talent, your this, your that. They mirror who you are. That's called mirroring. So they mirror you. Now, the flip side of that is a target of abuse can also mirror the abuser once the abuse starts in an effort to try not to be abused. So they become like the abuser in order for the abuser to overlook them or to go abuse somebody else. That also is called mirroring. Okay. Loving oneself changes the way we look at this information. Finding the care for you and for the rest follows. Okay. And the rest follows like laws of the universe. Yeah, absolutely. Can you expand on the list of deal breakers? Okay. Well, what are your deal breakers? I will not put up with somebody lying to me. Absolutely. That is a deal breaker. You lie to me, we're done. You cheat, you steal from me, we're done. You call me names, we're done. You, whatever. You disrespect me, we're done. So now that is in dealing with anybody, basically. I mean, obviously, if I'm in a romantic relationship and John and I are having a misunderstanding, that's one thing, as long as the respect is still there. If the respect is not there and he's lying to me, he and I'd be done. I wouldn't put up with that. I don't put up with that. I do not put up with lying. I do not put up with cheating. I do not put up with stealing. I do not put up with somebody calling me names. I do not put up with somebody smearing me. I do not put up with somebody. What else? What else is a deal breaker? I don't put up with somebody being disrespectful. I don't have time. I am trying to frickin' heal the world, people. I don't have time to deal with trolls. I don't. And I don't put up with them. And as soon as somebody is disrespectful, they are piece the fuck out of here. I'm not going to put up with it. That's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. Abso-freaking-lutely. You bet. So those are all deal breakers. What will you not put up with? I think those are all pretty reasonable because those are all abuses. So don't put up with abuse. You list it out. That's why it's important to write out your abuse. What did your abuser do to you? How did they hurt you? There's your list of deal breakers right there. All right, there we go. Okay. Yeah, we do care what they thought in the first place because they make us think that they do care, and they don't. They truly don't, because people who love you do not treat you poorly, ever, period. Okay, the idea that I myself get to decide my own esteem and value. Outer esteem is like a handle toxic adults install into kids to control them by keeping them from being able to make themselves feel safe on their own. The way you phrased it made a light bulb turn on in a way that it hasn't before. Thank you for such a wonderful answer. Thank you so much. Okay, good. I'm glad I could help. So it's other esteem. You don't want other esteem. You need self-esteem. You need to approve of you. Okay, that I can decide on my own truly. That's like a eureka moment. Yes. Okay. Is it normal to have fear when cutting off your narcissistic mother who has taken away everything or anything that makes you happy and wants everything you are getting in life? Yeah, it is. Fear, obligation, and guilt. False evidence appearing real is fear, obligation, and guilt. And a parent does that. And a narcissistic mother specifically is jealous of their child and jealous of whatever the child gets. So, for example, my grandmother was an absolute narcissist, and she was pathologically jealous of me. Why? Well, I could feel I was happy, I was joyful, I was me, and I would earn things. I would get things. And one year I worked in my dad's office and I decided I wanted a waterbed for Christmas. So I bought myself a waterbed. And she was jealous of that. And she was angry. How dare you? She actually said this to me. How dare you be younger than me? I'm sorry, what? Like I had any control over that. How dare you be young? How dare you be pretty? How dare you get a waterbed? How dare you have all these things? You're such a spoiled brat. Da 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 da. I mean, it was crazy. It was insane. And she was jealous of anything my mom got too. So anything nice that either one of us got, she either tried to take away, or she would ruin, she would sabotage, or she would destroy it. She would, yeah. I mean, it was nuts. That's part of the reason why I moved out when I was 17, because she was living with us and she was crazy. So yeah, absolutely, they do that. And yes, there's a reason there's fear, because they will punish when we don't do what they want us to do, or when we get things that they are jealous of. Instead of being happy, wow, it's so great that you worked for your own waterbed. That's awesome. Instead of that, she was jealous. And that's not normal, guys. That's not normal. Okay, some humans don't want to grow other than have the ability to make the world change. You just found the wrong lazy teachers. Okay, what is a healthy reaction to a smear campaign? You ignore it. You ignore it. You fly above it. You absolutely fly above it. If they are harming your professional reputation, then you file an order of protection. Abso-freaking-lutely. You do that. Other than that, you ignore it and you get rid of the flying monkeys in your life. You do not visit their web pages. You do not listen to what they're doing. If it's something going on at work, again, you go to HR and drop the words hostile work environment. EEOC. Oh, yeah. Okay. You just ignore it. Okay. Triangulation is also a huge deal breaker. So triangulation is used one of two ways. Either they are the operator in a game of telephone. Well, so-and-so said such and such about you, and that's when you go, I'm sorry, I'm not discussing this unless all of these people are present in this room, period. Or they triangulate using a different person to try to evoke jealousy. So, the narcissist will evoke an ex-lover, a former boyfriend or girlfriend, oh, well, they called me and they're interested. That's triangulation as well, because they're trying to evoke jealousy in the target of abuse. Why do narcs get nastier when they age? My mother's mask has fallen and she's walking about and doesn't care. I used to hold the queen ego up, which was much better than Medusa. It's so ugly. What happens at death? They're terrified. They are absolutely terrified because they know they fucked up and they're terrified of going to hell in some cases. In some cases, they don't care. But the idea of no longer existing terrifies them. And that's also not normal because eventually all of us die. Sucks, but there it is. And so you either make peace with that and you're like, cool, hopefully there's there's an afterlife. Hopefully there's karma, not karma, but there's reincarnation. Hopefully there's this, hopefully there's that. But if not, if all we do is just wink out, well, damn, it's been a great ride. Awesome. I hope I helped as many people as I possibly could and had as good a time as I possibly can. That's the healthy way to look at it. But a narcissist doesn't look at it that way. It's a terrifying thought. It's a terrifying thought because it's the ego. Remember, their egos are out of control. Their egos are the ones that are in charge. Their egos are the ones that are driving them. Absolutely. And that's not healthy. So there that is. Okay. Unethical stuff is a deal breaker. You betcha. When they try to get you to steal. When they try to get you to apply for things that are not yours, when they try to get you to do things that you would not otherwise do. Yeah, unethical stuff, don't do it. You betcha. I don't think we can figure out deal breakers till we have a sense of self-value. I think part of that is don't put it off. That's a great excuse. Don't put it off. Write out what they did to you. Those are your deal breakers right there. Those are your deal breakers. I had tons of fear of my narc mother, my mom all over, happy to have my space now. Okay. Unethical is the best deal breaker. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, all right. I covered what happens to older narcs, toxic in-laws. I talked about that. Toxic coworkers. Why do abusers refuse to give compliments once the love bombing phase is over? It's part of that intermittent positive rewards. So when they don't, when you walk out and you look great and they don't say, damn, baby, you look good. Okay. They're wanting to hurt you. They withhold. They withhold compliments because that's what they do. It's part of that intermittent positive rewards. So you want to be with somebody who validates and acknowledges you on a daily basis. You know, it's like John and I this morning, we were standing in the bathroom and he was standing in front of the mirror shaving, and I grabbed his little hind end and I was like, damn, baby, you got a nice hind end. We do that almost on a daily basis. We do to each other because we validate and acknowledge each other, you know, or gee, thank you for being such a great, you know, great uncle to my little great niece, because John ran all over the park getting fast passes. I mean, that was awesome. So you validate on a daily basis. You acknowledge and you love on a daily basis. You compliment on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be fake, you know, it's real. He does have a nice ass. So, you know, I mean, it's like you do that. So that's what you do. You validate and acknowledge on a daily basis. Abusers can't do that. They can't give to themselves, let alone to anybody else. And if they do, it's fake. They're mirroring. They're not being real. They're not being genuine. So yeah, you want to do that on a daily basis. Okay. Self-esteem and self-doubt. What is normal? So again, self-esteem is just that little voice inside going, hey, good job. I like you. Keep going. Oops, you fucked up. Okay, did you make amends? Good, you did. Okay, forgive yourself. Move on. That's self-esteem. Self-doubt is what's handed to us by either our original wound or by an abuser. So we're constantly second guessing. You've got to learn to trust. You've got to learn to trust your gut. That's the most important thing. That is what's going to get you through life, is your gut. So when you start self-doubting, that's when you have to tell your head and your heart to shut the fuck up. Listen to your gut. Seriously. So it's normal to kind of go, am I doing the right thing? But you ask your gut that, and your gut is generally going to say, yes, absolutely, you're doing the right thing. Or, no, maybe not. Do you see where I'm going with that? So trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut. That's the difference. Okay, talk more about us being addicted. I kind of did. Can an abuser have multiple issues going on? Yes, you can have multiple issues going on. You can be borderline, narcissistic, antisocial, avoidant. You can be a lot of them. You can also have bipolar going on. You can have depression going on and be an abuser. You can have all sorts of shit going on and be an abuser. You betcha. So yeah, there is a lot of comorbidity. Yeah, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. Talked about bipolar and CPTSD mimicking. Got that. Talked about being scared of writing. Okay, a lot of addicts, back up. A lot of abusers are also addicts of some sort, okay? They're either abusing alcohol, drugs, tobacco, food, porn, etc. So they have a very low tolerance for boredom. They want to be entertained all the time. So when somebody is abusing alcohol or drugs and they're abusive, is it the alcohol and the drugs? Is it them really being abusive? It's hard to say. You're not going to be able to know who the real person is until you get the alcohol and the drugs off the ship, basically. So oftentimes what happens is alcoholics will become abusive. Absolutely. We become very narcissistic. We become very self-centered. We become very, because I'm speaking as a recovering alcoholic here. You know, it's our wants, our needs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that is the alcohol talking. So show me a happy drunk, and eventually they will turn into a mean, nasty drunk. Eventually. It always happens. It never ends well. So when somebody is being abusive when they are drunk, that's probably a pretty good indication that there's other things going on underneath. And if there wasn't before, there is now. So you won't be able to know what's going on with that person. Alcoholics and drug addicts are often self-medicating. So for me, it was depression. I was self-medicating depression because if you read my book, What's Wrong with Your Dad? It was a pretty abusive childhood. Hello. So yeah, very depressed. Absolutely. I was suicidal when I was 16. You bet. So alcohol was a lovely escape, but it's not a good escape. Reality is a much better escape, honestly. So, but when you get rid of the alcohol and the drugs, now you can work on whatever the issue is underneath. Okay. So if they were abusive when they were using, they may not be abusive when they come off of it, but they have to work on whatever they were trying to self-medicate, whether that's depression or bipolar or anxiety or whatever, you know, or it could be that they do have a personality disorder. So you won't know until you get all the drugs and the alcohol off, and then you can tell what's going on. I hope that answered the question. Are narcs afraid of abandonment? No, we already covered that. Why are abusers attracted to online dating? Would rather text, etc. Because online dating is filled with people who are desperate, and they are filled with people that want so badly to be connected that it's so easy for them to love bomb, and for that target of abuse to just be like, oh my gosh, this is Prince or Princess Charming that I've been looking for, and they're mirroring me, and they're everything that I've ever wanted. Think Frozen, think Anna with Prince Hans. That's why they're attracted to online dating, because it's easy pickings. It's easy pickings. So there is that. Honestly, online dating sites I do not like. They are filled with predators of every kind that you could possibly think of. And texting, the reason that narcs like to text or abusers like to text is because it's impersonal. It's not personal. It's not, there's a degree of separation there. It's not emotional. And it can be very easily misconstrued and can be very easily used as an excuse to start an argument. So that's why they like texting. Why do they sleep deprive people? I talked about that. What is black and white thinking? Black and white thinking is all or nothing. Good, bad, all, nothing, black, white. It's called splitting. So that's what happens to generally kids who are raised by borderlines, because borderlines are very much black-white thinking, et cetera, et cetera. One of my dogs is barking. Okay. Why does the abuser claim to be the one being abused? Because it's narcissistic supply, because they can get people to play into their pity party for them. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it plays into the smear campaign later on. That's why they do that. It's because it's all calculated, guys. It's not like these people don't know what they're doing. They do. So them playing the victim, them playing the abusee when they are really the one doing the abusing, that's all calculated to play into the smear campaign. You betcha. That's why they do it. Do abusers leave peacefully? Only if they have another supply lined up. And then sometimes that doesn't even work out. So there is that. Please explain love bombing. Hang on a second. I want to make sure I got all these questions. Yes, I did. Okay, love bombing is in the beginning of the relationship. So in a healthy relationship, you get together with somebody and you kind of like them and just kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this person. This is good. You hang out with them. Not all the time. You're not with them 24/7. An abuser will demand to be with you instantly, off the bat, together, every single waking moment. Oh, let's go to lunch. Oh, let's go to dinner. Oh, let's go do this. Oh, this weekend. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. They want to bond with you. Okay, love bonding, trauma bonding as quickly as possible. So they will want to monopolize almost all of your time. That's love bombing. They will tell you things like, oh, you're just the most perfect person I've ever met. You like pizza? I like pizza. You like James Bond movies? I like James Bond movies. You like to go skiing? I like to go skiing. It's like they are your perfect match. That is love bombing. That is also not normal. So in a healthy, normal relationship, it takes time to develop. You start to learn each other's likes and dislikes. But an abuser will want to get in there and know everything about your past relationships, your family, your siblings, your friends, your work, your this, your that. They want to know everything. Why? Because they're mining you for information that they can use to love bomb you. And they're also mining you for weakness so that they can harm you with it later. Oh, they're nasty. We don't like them at all. Period. Okay, so there's that. That's love bombing. So love bombing is when they match you. So think of Frozen. Think of Princess Anna with Prince Hans, where he was like, oh, you like ice skating? I like ice skating. You like pizza? I like pizza. You like James Bond? I love James Bond. You like, whatever. I like that too. It's like they try to match you, try to match you, try to match you, try to match you kind of thing. Okay. Legal resources in Maryland. Heather Sinclair is running for office. Vote for her. She's amazing. Healthy relationships. I'm going to be talking more about healthy relationships in another video, because that is another whole thing. Okay. And I talked a little bit earlier about it. So you want to start finding role models that are healthier than what you've been in. Read as much as you can, self-esteem, do that type of stuff. Start looking for good role models. Abusers need constant praise. Yeah, because they have no sense of self. There is no there. If they don't have somebody to abuse, or if they don't have somebody to mirror back to, they don't exist. Hate to break it to you. So they're constantly looking for narcissistic supply, somebody outside of their esteem to constantly tell them how fabulous they are. That's what they do. Remember, you are dealing with somebody who is operating on an emotional level of maybe, if the wind is blowing in the right direction, on a good day, maybe a 6-year-old. Maybe. That's on a good day. All right, there is that. I feel my ego is getting in the way of my healing, makes me worry about any other narcissistic traits. Okay, those are called fleas. So when we are with an abuser, whether it is a family, mom and dad, or whether it is siblings, or whether it is a romantic partner or friend or whatever, we pick up fleas. So we pick up some of their nastiness. We do. We pick up raging. We pick up screaming at people. We pick up the ego. Absolutely. We pick up lying. We pick up cheating. We pick up stealing. So the narcissist truly sees nothing wrong with any of that behavior. We, however, intrinsically know in our gut that it's wrong. We do. And so when we come out of it, we recognize it. And then we feel shame because we matched. So that's called identifying with the aggressor. It is an ego defense mechanism that we adopt. We mirror our aggressor. We become the aggressor in order to not be abused. Because if we can match them, if we can become the mini-me, if we can become like if the parent is the abuser and we become the mini-me, they'll leave us alone and they'll go after some other sibling. Or if we're in a romantic relationship, if we can match them, then the abuser will go after a friend or a family member or a sibling or a, whatever, coworker, whatever, and leave the target of abuse alone temporarily. So it's called identifying with the aggressor. So it's fleas. And guess what? If you can learn it, it can be unlearned and you can squish them. So as you recognize the ego getting in the way, and I've talked about this before, kill your ego, get it out of the way. It's not going to do anything good for you. Egos do nothing but harm. They really do. The ego is the thing that's driving the abuser. So you want to kill the ego. You want to get rid of it. And when it gets in the way, the ego is the one that goes, well, I can't do that. I'd have to admit I'm wrong. I can't go to therapy. I'd have to admit I'm wrong. I can't go, I can't apologize. I'd have to admit I'm wrong. That's your ego talking. Fuck you, ego. Get out of the way. Get back to being the real person that you are. The ego was stoked by the abuser because the abuser is all ego. So they do the same thing to the target of abuse. They convince us that up is down, left is right, green is yellow, black is orange, and black is the new orange. No, orange is the new black. Anyway, all of that. And they get us to lie. They get us to cheat. They get us to steal. They get us to be unethical. They get us to do all these things that they do. And then when we come out of it, we go, oh, shit balls. I've got a lot of amends to make, just like an alcoholic, because your drug of choice was your abuser, because of the intermittent positive rewards. So when we get out of that nasty, awful, horrible, abusive relationship, you are going to have to make amends. You are going to have to repair the friendships, the relationships, the family relationships, whoever your abuser demanded that you give up, whoever your abuser demanded that you throw under the bus for them. You need to repair those relationships. Absolutely. It's called making amends. It's one of the steps. So yeah, and it's called getting your ego the fuck out of the way. And that's what it takes. So yeah, Tom, good observation, good insight. And that means you've got good insight, which is good, which means you can work on it, which means you can squish the fleas. So you just identify the behavior you don't like, you identify where you learned it from, and then you give it back to the person that it belongs to. Write it out and burn it. Dear abuser, boy, you really mirrored me really well in the beginning of this relationship. But then suddenly I couldn't do anything right. And then suddenly you started bringing in a third person. And then suddenly, fill in the blank, you started devaluing, discarding, blah, 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 blah. And then I recognized I had all these behaviors. I lied for you. I cheated for you. I gave up my family for you. I gave up my friends for you. I gave up my work for you. I gave up my hobbies for you. Write it out. Get it out of your head. Get it onto paper. Burn it. Start squishing the fleas. That's really what you need to do. Hello, Christopher. Okay. Getting you down the altar in a week. Yes. So guys, they move fast, and I mean like lightning speed. Like they want you wedded and bedded, or bedded and wedded as quickly as possible, because that's what they do, because that's how they make sure that they've got their hooks into you. Okay. So a healthy, normal relationship takes time. It takes time. You take time to learn who the person is. You take time to see if you are compatible, and that takes time. There's no other substitute for that. You don't move in within a year. You don't do any of this stuff within a year or a few months, or, you know, if you're spending every single waking moment with this person, that's a huge red flag, because each party should have their own lives and their own thing, and they should be slowly integrating family and friends into this. And no one should be forced to give up family, friends, hobbies, jobs, etc. Period. Okay. Can the relationship be addictive? Is it likely to be because of the attachment trauma or the trauma bonding or the cognitive dissonance? It's because of the intermittent positive rewards. It's the I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh my God, no, they hate me now. What the hell? What happened? Oh my God, they're discarding me. Oh no, wait, they love me again. Everything is good. Oh yes, yes, they love me. It's great. Oh no, wait, no, they hate me again. Oh shoot, what happened? What? I don't understand. Oh no, wait, here we go again. It's a roller coaster. We're addicted to that intermittent positive rewards. Good Christ, it's 2:33. All right, hang on. Okay. Infantilization. Yes. Okay. So when a toxic family is intent on hobbling a child, they infantilize them. Infantilize them. La, la, la. They make them like a baby. So you basically take their autonomy away from them. You do not allow them to keep a checkbook or to pay their own bills or to, you know, be autonomous, to have their own car, to have the ability to get around, to, you know, you make them dependent on you. And that is so not healthy and so not normal. So it's called infantilization. Infantile. Oh, good Lord. You treat them like a baby. That's basically it. You take away their autonomy. And it's what unhealthy, toxic families do. Usually mom and dad. Usually, although, you know, abusers do that too. How many times have one of us or all of us seen where an abuser says, no, you raise the kids, give up your job, don't work, don't have your own bank account, don't have your own car. Oh no, we can't afford 2 cars. We need 1 car and it'll be in my name. How many times have we seen that? I talk about that in here. This happens more than I'd like. This happens. So if you have questions on abusive relationships, what it looks like in other people, this is a conglomeration over the last 12 years, 13 years that I've been doing this, of what I've seen come by on my couch. So it's called You Can Lead a Horse to Water, but You Can't Make Him Cha-Cha, available on Amazon. Print on demand. Also, I will be doing a book signing in Tempe, March 23rd, 7 p.m. I will be talking about this. I will be answering your questions. I will be signing. I will be meeting you guys. I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be awesome. So I'll be doing that. Also, Eventbrite will be up, and any people in the Atlanta area or the surrounding area that would like to come to Atlanta to see me, it will be April 21st and 22nd. I will be doing book signings and a little seminar, probably about a 2-hour seminar, although my voice seems to be doing okay. So this is good. I've been going for 2.5 hours now. So going to be doing that. There's that. Okay. Back to the questions. Hang on. So it is because of the intermittent positive rewards. Okay. And the cognitive dissonance is part of the fog. Cognitive dissonance is where here's reality, but here's what your abuser is telling you, and they don't match. That's cognitive dissonance. And then that's where the magic thinking comes in. That's where the fear, the obligation, and the guilt kicks in. And that's when we believe what our abuser is saying as opposed to what is, you know, real, what is really going on. Okay. Okay, yeah, there is no medication for a personality disorder. There is medication for bipolar. There is medication for depression. There is medication for anxiety, but there is no medication for a personality disorder, just to make sure that that is completely straight. Yeah, and not everybody online is going to be an abuser. So Lisa pointed out that she met her husband online, and that is true. However, statistically, it is filled with abusers of all sorts. So you've got to be careful. And if you have not done the work, if you have not healed that original wound, stay the hell off of internet dating. Stay the hell off, because your picker's broken, and I can guarantee you, you will pick somebody that is harmful. So don't do it. All right. All right. Can you explain black or white splitting? So it's all or nothing. It's either this or that. It's an or question as opposed to an and question. So when I was at Disneyland with the great niece, it was so funny because she was like, well, is it okay if I get this dessert? But mom's already getting this dessert. And I looked at her and I said, honey, it's an and world here. It's not an or, it's an and. We're going to get the bananas Foster and the bread pudding, you know, and she just eyes this big. It was awesome. So it's an or world, or it's an either or. So splitting is, it's either this way or it's that way. It's either right or it's wrong, instead of seeing the plethora of other options. So it's very much a black and white kind of thinking, and it's a way to stay safe, and it's a way to make the world simple, but the world is not simple. The world is anything but simple. So yeah, that's what that is. Okay. Okay. Glad I could help. Okay. I remember the very beginning stages when I was first leaving my NARC. I was very uncomfortable with being alone while hanging out with other people, unless my NARC was there. Not enough self-esteem to be alone, and I feel like I'd be worthwhile enough for another person to enjoy my company without the dynamic person there. Yeah, we do that because they've stolen us. So they get very attracted to people who are outgoing and funny and smart and kind and gentle, and then they proceed to destroy that. They want to destroy that. And so then when we come out of it, it's very hard for us to believe that we are valuable and that we have worth and that other people want to be around us. That's why you've got to work on yourself. Absolutely. And get back to who you are. You know, get back to doing stand-up comedy if that's what you love doing. Get back to doing singing if that's what you love doing. Get back to what you used to love to do. Find yourself again. Absolutely. And realize your worth. Absolutely. I'm afraid the NARC fleas are the size of house cats. Working on fixing that. Good for you. I remember when I used to feel like I wasn't enough. Okay. Yeah, answered that question. Okay. All right. My ex's mom treated my ex like a baby. He wasn't allowed to get a job. Yeah, that's how they keep them dependent. They got more money from the state because he had asthma. Then he met me and all hell broke loose. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay. All right. So to recap, send me your questions. I'll try to get to them. Hopefully next week I'll be back on track doing a regularly scheduled show. It's just today I had so many questions that I wanted to get answered for you guys. Treat yourself well. Work on the original wound. Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor is one of them, and John, I want to say Bachman is the other. But any of the Inner Child workbooks are going to be good. Start working on that inner child wound. Self-Esteem Workbook by Schiraldi. The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker. Codependent No More, Beyond Codependent No More by Melanie Beattie. Get those books. Work them. Work on getting you back. Who are you? What do you want? What do you need? What does your gut tell you? Yes or no questions. Don't trust this. Don't trust this. Trust your gut. So anyway, that is it, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you have questions, please send them to either here, We Need to Talk with Chris Godinez. You can either instant message me, or you can put them, instant message me. That would be the best way to do it. I'll make sure and see them that way. Or you can leave them on YouTube. You leave them in the comments. You can message me on YouTube as well. I can't think of anything else. All right. Go have a great week. And I will, one more shameless plug. So again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him cha-cha. It's going to be a book signing at Tempe on March 23rd at the Changing Hands bookstore. I will be there at 7 o'clock. I will do a little bit of a lecture, but then I really want to take your questions and answer questions and meet you guys and sign autographs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, so I can put faces with names and all that sort of good stuff. So there it is. All right. Go have a great week, guys. Love you all. Be good to each other. I'll talk to you later. Bye.